hello,
How
Keith.
you doing?
How you doing, man? It's nice to finally be able to talk to you.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, twice. So for those listening, we actually did this before, but something went wrong. So we kind of
So we're
have to do
doing
it
it
over.
again.
Yeah, second
No
time.
problem though. No problem at all.
Yeah,
It was too long before anyway, so
yeah. We
it
kind of
doesn't matter.
talked for over 4 hours last time. So
Yeah, and like too
yeah,
far off subject too.
yeah, exactly. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Like what got you into this scene in the first place? Like knowing about the Sunset Strip bands, but just the bands that were released around the world at that time. 'Cause I know you're not only a Sunset Strip guy, although
Uh,
I actually am. I only listen to the bands from the Sunset Strip pretty
Yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah. I understand, and I actually, I mean, I like all the music of that era, of that time, like all over the world. But I do also mostly love more the Sunset Strip. But anyway, so when I was a little kid, like I was around 6 or 7 or something.
Yeah.
My dad and my uncle, my dad's brother, got me into this sort of music. I mean,
Your
music was
dad's like
always.
my age, right?
Yeah, yeah. So my dad is like born in '67, so he's like 4 years older than you, I believe.
Oh, he's 4 years older than me, so he's like because I'm like the youngest one from that scene, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's just a few years older. But yeah, music was always around our house, like my house and everything, and I grew up with it. But around the time when I turned like 7 or 8 or something like that, he introduced me to like the classic bands of the time, like Iron Maiden, Kiss, Guns N' Roses. Yeah, you know the deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I got into it that way, and then my uncle came into the picture because he was very close with my dad, and he still is. So and then he came along and introduced me to other great music and bands like the older stuff like Steppenwolf, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I got into music that way. But
Uh-huh.
once I got a few years older, like I was around maybe 11 or 10 or 11 or something, I started
Uh-huh.
going through my dad's record collection, right? And my dad has like a huge record collection. So he has
And
like
you're
a.
like 30 right now, right?
Yeah, I
Just
am
to give the
30.
audience an idea,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they might think that you're younger.
yeah, I am. I just turned 30. Yeah, yeah, I did.
So you were born in the mid 90s, so you weren't alive during when we were actually doing this.
No, no, no. I was not even. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was born
Uh,
in the middle of the '90s. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
so again, yeah. When I turned like 10 or 11 or something like that, I started going through my dad's record collection, and he has like a huge record collection. I'm talking like 25,000 records plus. And
Wow.
today it's like over 35,000. Like you get the idea,
Wow.
it's insane. But he has like not only the Sunset Strip bands, he has like all the bands from all over the world at the time. Like
Yeah,
Germany
yeah.
had quite a big scene. Sweden, where I am, had a big scene. Holland,
Uh-huh.
the Netherlands had the big scene at the
Uh-huh.
time, and stuff like that. So I went through his record collection there, where I was. And when I went through the record collection, I found all these great bands like Legs Up, Imagine World Peace, a band you were in,
Yeah.
because he had that cassette, and all the other classic bands
Yeah.
like Warrant and yeah, everything. But it was more when I found out the lesser known groups that I got more into it, because to me, and still to this day, I still think the more underground bands, quote unquote, had actually the better
Right.
music in some sort of way.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of
So
times
yeah,
or it's undiscovered, yeah.
yeah, the
So it
undiscovered
feels that
stuff.
way.
Yeah, yeah, the undiscovered stuff or the obscure bands or whatever you want to call it. To me, and still to this day, they have the better music. I mean,
Yeah.
I still love the classic and the famous stuff, of course. But you know, the more obscure bands is the shit. So that's
Yeah,
how
no,
I
I'm the
got
same
into it.
way. When I was a little kid, I lived in San Diego
Yeah,
until I was 18. I moved to LA at age 18, but I would see the Hollywood bands like play at the Club Rio in San Diego when I was 17 and it's
yeah,
18 and up. But the guitar player Dirty Tricks, he was in my band in San Diego called Ecstasy. He
yeah.
was friends with the door guy, and he goes, he would let me in, and he goes, just don't drink. But I don't drink, so that wasn't even
Ah,
an issue. I didn't even drink alcohol until I was 23. But so it wasn't an issue, and so I would go see like Taz, Bang Tango,
oh, that's
Tough,
beautiful.
and a bunch of other bands like Bad Ronald, which I don't know whatever happened. What I never heard of them since, but a bunch of bands that I thought were really good. Circus of
Yeah,
Power,
another great
um,
band. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and the band and Electric Love Hogs, and like those yeah, that just blew me away. Electric Love Hogs, a particular song from them, Tribal Monkey. That was like, out of
Yes.
all the bands that played, that was I thought they were sitting on the best song out of all those, out of everything that I ever heard there, and the crowd thought so too. But the
Yeah.
thing for me was, I was like, what? My friend, the singer of our band, was from L.A., and he used to go to the Hollywood scene and see like Lizzie Borden and Odin and
Yeah.
Ditch, and but Odin before they were glam. So like, they were a heavy metal band
Yeah. Yeah.
before,
Of
like
course.
Don't
Yeah.
Take No for an Answer. Yeah. And although I really like the glam stuff too, even though people slag on that sometimes, like because of the decline of Western civilization with his ass out, like
Yeah.
how he has the
Yeah. Yeah.
chaps
Yeah.
with his ass out,
Yeah. Of
and he's
course.
like saying, he's saying like he's going
Classic.
to be the next Led Zeppelin or something. So
Yeah.
he gets a backlash from that, but
Yeah.
they're actually greatness, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Odin
Yeah. I
is
love
actual
Odin.
greatness,
Yeah. 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 I
and
loved when
so
they turned glam. Like that was excellent.
yeah, and I like that more than Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. I preferred Odin's "Don't Take No for an Answer" album.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure. I
So,
mean, same here.
so I'm just saying, yeah. So I agree with you. Like the under, and plus I like the underground recordings, because once you get a major label gets their hands on it, it sounds all professional,
Yeah.
but it doesn't sound like a rock and roll band anymore. It sounds cleaner. And
That
so, like, I prefer
exactly.
Motley Crue's "Too Fast for Love" over any of their other records, sound wise, recording wise. Even though it only costs like $7,000 to record or something ridiculous,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know
Exactly.
what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
else costs like a half a million,
Yeah, because
right? And
I
but
mean I prefer the demos too, like to listen to this day. Like I prefer demos
yeah,
because
and the demos. I prefer the
yeah,
demos over it. And so people always say, I can't wait to get, we'll do a demo, and I can't wait to hear a good, a professional version of this. I can wait. I don't want to hear it.
yeah, yeah,
I already
exactly.
know it's going to
Because
sound wrong. It's not going to sound like a band. It's going to be all carefully put together with a click track, and everyone's going to record one at a time, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
suck.
yeah,
In my opinion, singer's going to do 5,000 takes until it's perfect,
yeah,
but he
crystal
doesn't
clear.
actually
Yeah,
sound like that. I
yeah.
want to
I
hear what he
mean there
sounds like.
is
It's okay to be out of tune
yeah, I mean
for
of
me.
course. I mean the records is great and everything. There is some gold. I mean there is some great records out there, professional. But I mean I still
Yeah.
prefer the demos and everything because that's the band themselves, if you know what I mean. Like there's no
Yeah,
producer involved. There's no record company. It's the band doing what the band wants to do.
yeah,
And
yeah. And you hear some cheesy ideas come out
yeah, yeah,
that the producer will get rid of the cheesy idea.
yeah.
I like the cheesy idea. The cheesy
Yeah,
idea just sounds more natural to me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's yeah,
Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
and yeah. Not to mention when you record those demos, those songs are in style. Usually, by the time you get a record deal and then you re-record them, it's like 2 years later, and your heart's not even. First of all, you don't even want to record a song this a second time because you already recorded it. It feels like, didn't I already do this?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so like
Yeah,
it doesn't have the same. So you don't even play it with the same energy ever. You know, it just sounds cleaner. And so what?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Couldn't agree more.
yeah.
So let me ask you a
But yeah.
question. So
Okay, go ahead.
when did you like? So you talked about like in San Diego and everything. So when did you start to think like, oh shit, I'm gonna move. Like I wanna do this.
Oh, when I got the Hit Parader magazines when I'm like 12 years old, and they're talking to, and Motley Crue and Quiet Riot, and it was Def Leppard as well.
Yeah,
But the thing was is they're everyone would talk about their scenes like Def Leppard and stuff. The
yeah,
only one that even sounded interesting to me at all was the Sunset Strip scene.
yes,
And I
yeah,
was like, oh, I want to, I would love, I wish I could have been there for that. I wish I could have saw that, and I would like to do that. So
yeah,
my goal wasn't really even to be a rock star, although it was, because it seems so easy just to play and then be on MTV. But really,
yeah,
my fantasies were always dealing with um, the part, because they never talk about the part. You know how like bands, they always talk about the part where they were playing the Sunset Strip before they got signed, and that those are the good old days, even though they were poor. They always say that. And then once they
yeah,
got their record deal, they don't even talk about those days. Well, yeah, we toured with Ozzy, Motley Crue will say, and they'll have a couple stories to say,
yeah.
but you could tell their passion is talking about playing the legendary Sunset Strip where the Doors played and Van Halen, and I'd
Absolutely.
hear Van
Yeah, yeah,
Halen
yeah,
talk about the Strip and how they used to flyer for the Strip, and you know what I mean. And they'd go from they'd fly to the Aerosmith concert, and they'd put on their flyer the people's Van Halen, the people's choice, like Muhammad Ali, and they would flyer the beaches, and they would flyer the colleges and the high
it,
schools, and just
pretty amazing
flood
to
it
me.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty amazing to me. Yeah,
Yeah, and then it would be packed, and they'd be talking, telling. Dave would be telling stories about Bill Gazzari, who I knew. I saw him and talked to him like every weekend. I
Yeah,
said
he's a
hello to him,
legend though.
just a
Like,
hello.
yeah, he's a legend to many people. Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's a total legend, and
yeah,
and I would just say hello to him, because I was shy back then. I just got there, but
yeah,
he would always say hi back and hey, young fellow, and that sort of thing.
yeah,
Nice to see you out here, that sort of thing. Just very like to me, he was the Sunset Strip because you know what I mean, like
yeah.
the father of the Sunset Strip.
But it's
I
excellent
know
though.
people
Like
say
he,
Mario from the Rainbow and the Whiskey. He was
yeah.
the owner, but and I guess I met him too. I don't really recall, but because of Bill Gazzari's hat, he had
Oh
his
yeah, yeah. Of course.
Godfather.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
legendary. Yeah,
it's legendary, and it just screams costume, and that's what to me the Sunset Strip was all about: is getting dressed up in some clothes that you couldn't wear in Whittier, or like San Diego,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
wear fun clothes and be wild and all that. And I
yeah.
don't mean an alcohol because I didn't even drink. Like I just mean be like happy, and
Yeah,
and,
have a
and
good time.
silly.
Have a good time.
Yeah, have a
Yeah,
good time. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And so my goal is always just to play those clubs. Really, because when I play like Utah, like Magical Peace would tour like Utah or the X Idols.
yeah.
To me, it was like, or Denver or something, and you're like, boring. I don't even know why we'd even want to play here compared to like the whiskey. And so I never really enjoyed that much, like playing in like these
Yeah,
weird
but you
places. And
still
then I
did it
played
though.
in,
You still did it. Yeah,
yeah,
of
and I
course.
did
Yeah,
it.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
and I
of
and
course.
and, and I went and did it a lot with doing disco tribute bands, and I
Yeah,
played all over the country doing that. And I never once did I think that those clubs were cool, like the Whiskey or the the Roxy or
yeah.
the Troubadour or something like that. And
But
so, you know,
yeah, but when
that
you,
was my goal.
yeah, exactly. So you first got into this at 12 years old and you wanted to do this and that. But so for those,
Yeah, or like 11. I guess I was turning 12, but I was 11.
yeah. So but did you play guitar at this time?
Yeah, I started playing guitar. Well, I already played guitar when I was 8, but then I said
Yeah,
I really got into it when Def Leppard and Quiet Riot came out, and
yeah,
especially Phil Collins because I was gonna play drums I was asking my mom for drums for Christmas, which
yeah,
I wasn't gonna get because we were poor as hell. Because I'm
yeah,
from
yeah.
like the
Understand.
ghetto in San Diego,
Yeah,
National
yeah,
City. It's
yeah.
like a total ghetto, and the
Yeah, it's
ghetto
understandable.
part of National City,
Yeah,
the most poorest part of that city. And so, um, because I saw Frankie Banali's striped drums, and then, it's Foolin'. Yeah, Foolin' came out. And you know the part where Phil Collins drops to his knee and he goes
yeah, yeah,
down,
yeah.
down, down, down,
For sure,
down, 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 and that
for
part,
sure.
and he had the Ibanez Destroyer with the polka dot shirt. To me, it's very visual too. It's not just about the music. It was also there was a look to hair metal,
Yeah, yeah.
which is
Glam
not
had
called
that
hair
whole
metal
thing.
back then.
No, hair
Yeah,
metal actually came
we just
later.
called
Yeah,
yeah, we just called it heavy. Well, if you everyone just called it heavy metal. They didn't. Then later on they called it glam metal because Metallica started making that distinction. But they weren't
oh,
even like nothing at the time.
yeah, but I
I
remember.
don't even think they.
But I know the story about. I mean, I wasn't alive, but I know the story of like Metallica. You know, the video where they're shooting darts at the picture of Kip Winger. You know,
Yeah, that's
and
like
then
late '80s, like a whole
yeah,
decade later almost.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's sad
but
that they
but
had to do that. You know, that sort of thing. I mean, it's very sad to me.
oh, they're just being drunk fools. I
Yeah,
don't. I heard them talk about that, and they said they didn't even mean nothing by it, and they feel bad about
yeah.
that
They
because
actually
it really
apologized.
affected.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they didn't realize it actually affected his career like that.
yeah,
But they
yeah,
were that's just a punk rock sort of thing. Like Sex Pistols had that T-shirt that had all the bands that they liked and all
yeah,
the bands that they hated, and there was a line down the middle.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
so, it's just a way to get popular by talking shit. I'm not that sort of dude though.
No, same here.
I
Same
don't like
here.
that. I don't like that style of promotion.
Yeah, it's absolutely couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that's a punk rock thing. I'm not like that at all. I'm more like the Van Halen style of promotion where is like hyped up big, like a Muhammad Ali sort of thing, like the Van Halen point of view.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, instead of like putting other bands down because you'll remember that, and that's memorable when you talk shit. But
Yeah.
there's two ways to go about it.
So, like, how was it first arriving? How was it to arrive to the Sunset Strip for the very first time? when you
Well, the
decided to
first time
move?
I went, yeah, the first time I went before I moved just to take a look at it was
Yeah,
in 1988. And me and my brother,
88.
we
Yeah,
walked like an idiot. We didn't realize how far it was. But my mom and my grandma, we came up with my mom and my grandma.
yeah.
And because I'm like 17 and he's like 15, something like that.
All right, right.
And yeah, because I moved when I was 18 and
Yeah,
then, in 89.
yeah,
And anyways, we came up and they got that hotel that's near, it was like a hooker hotel, you know,
yeah, yeah,
that because it was the cheapest one. Like I said, we were poor and at the time.
yeah.
And
Absolutely, I understand.
it was by the Guitar Center. And then me and Conway, my brother, decided to walk to the Sunset Strip. Little did we realize it's like an hour away on foot or like longer. It took us a long time. And when we got home, our legs were so sore. But we went and got tickets to see. We didn't even know who it was. I just wanted to go to the Roxy because I always liked the Roxy the best myself.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I wanted to go to the because they have that awning with it says Roxy and you can stand underneath it and it has like the lights like it's like
Oh, for sure,
Hollywoodish.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen the pictures.
And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And anyways, and Charlotte was playing, and another band was playing that was opening called Harlot. So it was Charlotte and Harlot. I was like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty cool.
Charlotte, I never really heard much from Harlot, but I don't think they did much. But Charlotte,
I
uh,
mean, they did
uh,
release some stuff. I mean, I have the demos.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and they're on that box set,
yeah.
the
That
Rock
too.
and Roll Rebels and the Sunset Strip, and it's really good.
Yeah, that too. Absolutely. Yeah, they're great. I love them
And
actually.
both bands are really good, but Charlotte like was like totally like ready to go like record deal level band,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like they could sign them. Although I didn't realize how bad those record deals really were, like how they know you're gonna sign anything, so they give you like you make no money if you sell records.
Yeah,
That
precisely.
was
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately for many, that was the case. Yeah, sadly.
yeah, yeah. If you hear anybody's story, that's always the case on their first records.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is they
for
didn't
sure.
make any money until after like 5 years, and then they re-signed for a second deal. If the style of music was even popular anymore. Now the thing
Exactly.
was with hair metal though, it stayed popular all the way to like 90, I'd say. And then they stopped signing it in 91 because
Yeah.
Nirvana came out and there was like everyone's buzzing about like no one's going to get a record deal now. It's all about Alice in Chains, Soundgarden,
Yeah,
and
it's the whole Seattle scene
Nirvana
going
and
on.
Pearl Jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could, but then all the bands started wearing flannels, trying
Yeah,
to
exactly.
try
All the
to grunge
flannel
their
shirt.
music. Yeah, yeah. All the singers started singing like this, which is really just Axl Rose, like we've been dancing with, like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
that's to me, Alice in Chains is their first record is a hair metal record without the high pitched noise, the
Yeah,
screaming. I mean,
I mean, the first Alice in Chains album is my favorite if I have to choose between them all.
yeah, by far
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, because they turned
all the
into
songs are
something
good.
else later.
Yeah, they
Um,
went grunge.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
they went grunge.
yeah,
Even though they were already considered a grunge band, they knew they weren't a grunge band. They're playing like funk metal, like you know, like I wanna tell your girlfriend,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
I
precisely.
try to
Yeah,
ball your babe. You'll go key, and the guitars are down, 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 diddly down, dippa dippa down, pow, down,
but
down, 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 down. That's like a total hair metal Sunset Strip type
yeah,
music.
but they
And so,
actually
but the
though,
next
if you look,
album,
sorry, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry,
what?
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, if you listen to the second record, it's straight up metal, like gung, 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 gung. And
Yeah,
them bones are me, and stuff like that. They
yeah.
have some of that element on the first record, but they went all in, on the second record,
I
and then
mean
by the
they,
third record, they went abstract. Like the music, the songs don't even make sense, sort of in a way.
yeah, exactly, and they
Singing about
totally
frogs
embraced.
and
Yeah, they embraced that
yeah,
whole
like
thing later.
abstract music.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they got worse and worse that band, in my opinion.
I
But that's
mean,
just my opinion.
that's so funny because my favorite. I mean, I love all hair metal and the glam and the whole thing. But if I have to choose, like my favorite era is like between 1990 and 1993. That little time frame for me is my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite era too,
Yeah.
actually, because that's the era where hair metal was going out of style, and so the hair metal bands, but you didn't know it was going to go totally out of style. So
No,
what
no,
the
not
hair metal
completely.
bands
No.
did, what yeah, so the hair metal bands so called, started doing things like adding other kind of elements to their music, like Beatles, like that, like Extreme would add a little Beatles, like
Yeah.
in Rest in Peace, and so it started becoming interesting hair metal.
I
And
mean,
and I like the first era of hair metal when it first came out, like Motley Crue and Quiet Riot and Dawkins and Great White and all those bands, because
yeah.
none of those, because there wasn't a blueprint yet, and all those bands sounded totally different. But then by like late '80s, like '89, everyone tried to sound like Whitesnake, including Quiet Riot, where
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
has a bluesy singer and sounds like David Coverdale, which is like
Absolutely.
really just Robert Plant meets Paul Rogers from Bad Company.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But everybody's a professional singer, and everyone's good looking in the band. 'Cause, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where at first, like in 1981, there's like one good looking guy, and then the other guys are just
Yeah.
regular guys, like Van
Yeah.
Halen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, right,
Absolutely.
Alex and Michael are regular guys, so it doesn't seem so fake, and
Yeah.
but then it got more fake, and then like you said, 1990 to 1993, but really, to me, like 1992, and those 1993 band that released, they were actually, those songs are written in 92, and maybe it was released in 93, that sort of thing,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
even they gave up
Because
on themselves. Yeah,
yeah, because to me, I mean, this might sound wrong or something, but I don't care. Like to me, the whole scene kind of matured, quote unquote, and they added
yeah,
something else, and like like so there's glam metal in glam and this whole thing, but there's another subgenre that I also like. I mean, yeah, I think you're familiar with this, and it's called sleaze, right? Like sleaze metal or sleaze
yeah,
rock,
yeah,
and I mean, sleaze to me kind of started in 1990 or something like that with like Spread Eagle, Jones Street, that kind
yeah,
of sleaze, and I absolutely
yeah.
love that.
But I also look at it like that scene's that sleaze, because that's what they called Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue,
Yeah,
but like, and L.A. Guns. So it's there. It was there.
yeah, yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But I
But
think
it
it
just,
matured a little bit, and it became even more quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like, it sort of,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know how
more
to.
bands. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
more bands. There was only like I said, I just named them all.
yeah,
There's a few others, like Faster Pussycat was considered sleaze,
yeah, for sure.
and
I know.
you know what I mean. Jet Boy a little bit.
Yeah, I know. L.A.
Um,
Guns and Guns N' Roses kind of they're considered like the godfathers of like sleaze or whatever they say. But
yeah, because it's not metal at all.
yeah,
Although LA Guns is straight metal. I don't care what anyone says. That's straight
yeah,
up
and they call
metal.
it sleaze these days. At least in my part of the world, L.A. Guns is sleaze, but I'm not
Yeah,
entirely
yeah.
sure. But
Here
uh,
too. Yeah.
yeah, but like yeah,
But
to
I'm
me,
just saying those riffs are heavy metal riffs.
yeah,
What
for
made it
sure.
sound sleazy? I was listening to Tracy Guns talk about it. He says what made it sound sleazy is he was playing through a Randall, not a
Yeah,
Marshall, and it just has a certain like crappy tone to it that I
yeah,
really like.
exactly. I mean,
You know what I mean? Because Marshalls have like a Van Halen tone, and the Randalls, which is what the guy from Dirty Tricks, the other guitar player, he used to play through a Randall, and it has that certain sound of L.A. Guns about it.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm such a sucker for that. Anything Spread
Yeah,
Eagle,
me
Jones
too.
Street, that
Yeah,
kind of sound, I'm just head over heels in love with it. Like, yeah, I'm sold.
yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, I love that. And where they're singing about the streets, but Motley Crue
Yeah,
was doing that, singing about the streets, like "This is Hollywood Danger." That's
yeah,
totally about the streets. Or "Out Goes the Night into the night." Going, I forget what or what is it? "Knock 'em Dead," kid, where he's saying it's about fighting the cops,
yeah,
getting in a
exactly.
fight with the cops at the
I mean,
Rainbow and getting his ass whipped.
I mean, I mean, I like the other lyrics and the other music too, but to me, like we're talking about with this sleaze kind of deal, it's the lyrics
Yeah,
kind of reflected that too, because they had some serious
yeah,
lyrics as well, and I love that too. Like they're singing about the streets, they're singing about the state of the country, and and everything else, and I kind of like that too. There
yeah.
is some seriousness going on around that time frame, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Where like Def Leppard doesn't do that. They
yeah,
sing about girls,
yeah.
and I
Girls
like
and
that.
party and sugar
I like
on me.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Same here. I
that's
love
like
it.
my thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, like
But
that Van Halen sort of thing.
so yeah, yeah. So I
But
love that too. But when I want to listen to some more like important quote unquote lyrics, I put on the more sleazier side because they have something to say, so to speak, right? So yeah,
right, right. Or they describe Hollywood. That's the other thing. That's why I always like the Hollywood scene, because they those bands like Guns N' Roses. I was like obsessed with Guns N' Roses. would sing about Hollywood. Motley Crue, I was obsessed with them when I was little too. It
Yeah.
would sing about Hollywood all the time,
Yeah.
and so it really made you go, well, Hollywood is that's the place. Like to
Yeah.
see a band, see the like if you were to see Motley Crue, you want to see them in Hollywood at a club, and not some you know the Forum. You want to see them at the Roxy, which they're doing actually.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But then Guns N' Roses had the whole drugs thing going on as well. They sang about drugs a lot, like quite a bit. Yeah, I think you know that. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a drug person
Yeah,
myself, but
no, but it's fun to listen to. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's
of
like
course,
watching a
of course.
movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
they went
yeah,
through it though. They went through it, but yeah,
yeah. Because I'm not a drug person at all. Like,
yeah,
I
same
never
here.
even did one line of cocaine or any of that stuff that they describe. My bands were always clean, and the only time that it wasn't is the singer from the Ex Idols. He started doing drinking alcohol and taking Valiums and stuff like that,
But
and
did
he
you
was
ever
so annoying.
experience like anything going to the clubs or concerts where there was a lot of drugs or something? Like, did you experience
No,
anything?
no,
No. Okay.
no, because when you go to the, especially in like '89, like you said, it was like popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like trendy. And so you'd have girls from the valley coming over, and they're just like 16 years old, and they're not on drugs,
Yeah,
not
yeah, of course.
really, not
Yeah, no, no.
for the most part. And they're just standing there as innocent as can be, and I'm 18 years old, like as innocent as can be, and handing them a flyer, and we're having like normal conversations like we are
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
so people like to blow it up. I always say that Guns N' Roses, because you can that didn't happen on the strip. That's like in their apartments. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like
yeah, of
hanging
course.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If you notice that those stories are usually
Yeah, yeah,
in
most of the time.
an apartment story,
Yeah, 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 of course. An apartment or
like the
apartment
Motley House.
building or yeah, 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 of course. Yeah, the Motley House, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you're standing in front of the Roxy, there's cops there, dude.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
doing any of that.
Yeah, yeah, of
You
course.
know, I mean, you could see the footage online. The guys from Circus, who I understand is in the new Nothing But a Good Time. They show their footage of them.
I think they
The
actually
singer
did.
posted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on part two, the singer said something about it on
I
Facebook
mean,
about that.
Circus is such a cool, great band with a kick-ass guitar player. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They got a lot of shit too because they're glam and that's out of style. Yeah, but did you hear how good these guys are?
yeah,
They're
they can
completely good,
play.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, I
No, they
love
got
that shit.
songs though.
Yeah, I
Like they
love
got
it.
song that to me that's sleaze. But they had a they weren't just glam. They had an element of sleaze too. Like I'm coming that song.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
coming.
I
I got
mean,
that album. It's freaking killer.
yeah, same here. And I mean, that whole band is just killer. Everyone could play, and they had the songs, they had the look, they had the atmosphere, they had everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they had everything. They
and
had they were the best promotion on the strip too because they had the
oh
balloons instead of the
yeah, I
flyers.
love
It,
that.
we
Yeah,
are all like, damn, dude, they just kicked all of our asses. You had to bow to that one. I told the singer that on the phone. Dude, how did you come up with that? And he goes, he says, well, they banned. They said if you have your flyers left on the ground at the end of the night, that they'll ticket you. And we got a bunch of tickets. So and I never got any tickets because I would actually stay till the end of the strip. I would flyer all the way till everyone was gone and
yeah,
pick up my flyers at the end of the night and wipe the footprints off because I couldn't afford any more flyers.
yeah. Good old days.
And
Yeah,
so that didn't happen to us. Yeah, but for them, it did. And so he goes, well, put it on a balloon, and if they let go of it, it just flies away.
exactly. It
Brilliant.
doesn't go down; it goes up. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and that dude's a smart dude just to begin with because I was noticing he's like in some rich house like on a lake in Texas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like this. Clearly, he has a brain.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's a really funny guy. Like as an adult, he's a character for sure.
Yeah, but my favorite in the band is the guitar player. To be fair, like he could really play. Like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's out of this
he's a
world.
monster.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I was telling you in the other one, he would have been the perfect guy to succeed after Steve Vai. That's that's the guy they should have got because they got Jason Becker and his hand was all injured, but then they should have got that guy,
yeah,
Jeff Cohen. That's his name.
yeah. Yeah, oh shit! Thank you, because I forgot. Whoa, that's embarrassing. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
he's
did
so
a
good.
video on just his guitar solo orgasm. I did a
Yeah,
video on that, like a little review where I played in my car while I'm just driving around. And so I
eargasm.
remember, yeah, Yeah.
so good.
Oh, eargasm. That's right.
Yeah,
Eargasm. I'm sorry. Yeah, you
it,
got it. There you
it's
go. You redeemed yourself right now.
yeah, exactly.
If he's listening and going, oh, okay, he does know. He does know.
Yeah, I mean
But
it's
yeah,
so good. It's so good.
and then not to mention the rhythm section was great, and the drummer had the was like he was although he was like 6'2". I remember him being way taller than me. That he was like as pretty as a girl, like all the and which means that all the girls were in love with him. You
Yeah,
know how
there
that
was a
goes.
lot of stuff going on back then. I know from videos and interviews and stuff with the girls and the crushes, and it was almost a whole thing there for a while. Yeah,
Yeah, so you saw the footage of the Sunset Strip. That's exactly what it was like. It doesn't
yeah.
seem that crazy to you, right?
No,
When you
no, no.
watch it, you're like, this
I
is
mean,
not.
the only thing I'm thinking to myself when I watch it is like, I wish I was there. Like, I wish I was alive, right? Like, I wish. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't look scary or
yeah.
anything,
No, no.
right?
Yeah,
All the girls are safe. The guys are hugging on the girls, but the girls like these guys, so it's like a
yeah.
little
Exactly.
different.
So it's everything is
They
good and
have a
safe. Yeah.
yeah, and then you could see that the guys aren't too pushy, that they don't really mean it. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah,
being
exactly.
playful.
Exactly. And most of
Yeah,
all,
where
it's great music, of course. So yeah.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like the mood of not even the music, just the mood of us standing there when we were handing out flyers or not playing.
I
Like
mean,
it's just very
it's
friendly.
yeah, but it's yeah, and it's a good time at the same time. You know, it's like everything is just a big old good time.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny about that is that nobody wanted to flyer. Like nobody wanted to even be there because isn't that funny? And but then once they're there, they're having a great time.
Yeah,
But it just
exactly.
seems, but you're doing it every Friday and Saturday, and so it just seems like work when you have to do it, you know.
Yeah,
But
but
but it's not
yeah,
like
because it's
fun.
for your own band and whatever, because it's work. But it's fun at the same time, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow it ends up being fun. Yeah.
So for those listening, maybe I should say like, so what bands were you in back then? For those listening.
The X Idols, Imaginary Peace, Dirty Tricks, and later S is for Space after the X Idols.
Yeah.
And that was with the guys. That was with the drummer and the bass player of Roxanne was in my band.
Yeah. So, but first it was like Dirty Tricks, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, the order
Imaginary
was
Piece.
Dirty Tricks,
Yeah,
Imaginary
Imaginary
Peace,
Piece. Yeah.
the X Idols, and then S is for Space.
Yeah, so you definitely were there back then. So, for
Yeah,
those people listening.
and that went all the way to the late '90s.
Yeah, exactly. But by the
So I
late
was there
90s,
all the way through.
the strip was pretty much dead after like 93, right?
You would think, but then I was always kind of jealous because I'd see Alley Cat Scratch and they sold out at the whiskey because I lived
Yeah.
there on Larrabee where the Viper Room's at, and then I'd see like Foxy Rock sold out. I'm like, holy crap,
I
it's
mean,
not dead.
yeah,
There's
that's
not no
another.
people standing out front handing out flyers because they completely banned that. Like you couldn't even have it in your
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, exactly.
But as far as selling out shows go, there was still a glam a band selling out shows.
But Ellicat Scratch is glam, but I think they're actually a little bit of sleaze in their music too. So they're
Oh,
more
yeah,
sleazy.
total
Yeah, total
yeah,
sleaze to
sleep.
me.
But well, I kind of lump it all together,
Yeah, glam,
really.
glam. Yeah, yeah. Same here sometimes, but they're also a band that is more
Yeah.
sleaze to me, and I love them. I really do. And they had an
Yeah, but
album coming out later as
yeah,
well, and yeah.
yeah, trash can or what it's called in
Trash Boys and
I
Plastics.
forget.
I mix it all up,
It's a
dude.
it's killer album.
Yeah. I have it. I have like two copies even. Like it's, I love them. I even have the demo, and I have the lost tapes, quote unquote, where they recorded but they didn't release until later. What's it called?
Right. I don't
Um,
know that one.
I mean, the first album is Dead Boys in Trash City, which came out in '93.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
and that's
And
what.
it's 93.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So
exactly. And
it was
it's
the scene was dead in 93 as far as like people handing out flyers and being a crowd where in 89 you couldn't even walk down the street. And then by 90 it got a little thinner. Really
yeah,
88 though, I actually had to go out into the street to walk down the street. Everyone
yeah,
I was always already complaining in 89 when I moved there. It's not the same as it used to be. Well, I
yeah,
still could barely walk down the street,
yeah, exactly. And
but
there
I could
was,
walk down the street,
I mean, there was a
you
few
know, but
bands. Did you hear about a band called Mother Mercy?
yeah, Mother Mercy, yes.
Yeah, they played there, I believe, and I love them. They're more like, to me, they are Alec Scratch because they play almost exactly identical kind of glam, sleaze kind of deal. I just wondered if you know them,
Oh, I
but you
see.
do. Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't know them personally, no.
No, no, but I mean, you heard them and you know the band. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard them though.
You
I've heard
haven't?
of them.
Oh, okay, you haven't
No.
heard them. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll watch this interview and get the name again. So and I'll look it up
Yeah, you should. They're
because
from
that's what I
like
do.
I believe they're originally from Huntington Beach in California, and they were like
Oh, I see.
formed in '93, right? Like it was super late,
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah. So
released.
there was that like Peppermint Creeps as well.
Yeah,
They're like
exactly.
that. Yeah, and they were like selling out.
It's amazing that
Yeah.
the certain bands with that sleaze kind of deal
I guess I
still
should
came out.
mention that we're doing that the Viper Room's Hollywood All Star
All
Jam
right,
night at
good.
October 18th. October 18th, from 5 to 8, an early show, and you got to get there by 4. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to get in now because there's so many people going, and they said you can have a huge guest list because we just want to get people in there.
Yeah,
So I'm like talking to like Pepper from Queenie Blast Pop and like Adam from Paradise. They're not even performing because I guess it's too late for them. But
yeah.
although you never know, because you would have them hop up on stage,
So it's
and
important to note that this is one night only, right? Like this is just a one-time deal.
well, no, it's not a one-time deal. It says that on the flyer, but I didn't make the flyer, so I was like, "What's this? This is not going to be a one-time deal." No, I'm going to try to
No,
do it
but I
like
mean
every
one
six
night
months.
only for now. Like you know what I mean? It's
For
not
now,
like you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing. It has to be successful, or it is one night only.
yeah. Exactly. Um,
Yeah,
so the bands
but it
perform between 5 and 8 p.m., right? But you can
yeah,
enter at
and
four.
people get the impression that it's like the original lineup of the band, but like I was telling you, or I don't know if I was telling you or Rachel from Legs Up, because he's coming down and he's I just talked to him this morning, like I told you earlier today,
Yeah.
that he's coming down and he's going to be a part of it. And then he tells me he's going to get the guitar player and singer to do it. And I go, well, have Legs Up do a couple songs, but he hasn't actually contacted me yet, so that's not solidified. But what is
Ah,
solidified is him doing it. He's
that's
solidified. And so that's what it when you look at those band names, that's or all those bands, that's there might be just like one or two guys from each band because each band has like one dead guy or they
yeah.
live in like Canada
Or
or something,
they quit music. Yeah.
or they
So,
quit music. That's
but
like the third thing.
but
Yeah.
they still represent the scene and the band that we're playing in. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah, like for instance, the drummer of Rough Justice, he says that he physically is out of shape right now. He has like some sort of problem with his hands or something,
Yeah.
and that he's not going to perform, but
But
he's going to be there for sure.
that's
So to put
amazing.
him on the list, you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
so the list is filled up with like Sunset Strip guys that aren't even performing, that are just going to be there because and then the other two guys from Rough Justice, they're performing, but I don't even know if they're performing together. I believe they're perform. I'm having them perform separately. Like one is
Ah.
performing with Jeff from Bad Blood,
Yeah.
and the other one's performing with me. You know,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
he's
And
going
it's
to
great.
bring and some of the musicians that he plays with in his Tom Petty, Stevie Nicks tribute band, and they're like he wants to do Hellion from Judas Priest, and he wants me to learn the guitar solo for it, and just grab his guitar, and then hop up on stage and just play it. But I'm trying
That's
to get
awesome.
that's what I'm trying to do is have everyone mix and match.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
not like the Whiskey and Oboza Jam where this band plays, then this band plays, and this band. No, it'll be that a little at first, like where like where it'll be like the band that you expected, but it'll be missing a couple of guys. But the other guys are like from the Sunset Strip too, though. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
then later on, it's going to be all covers, and that way anyone could just jump up and you know what I mean, like
yeah,
Crazy
it's
Train,
just
and
a
I have
good
like
hangout. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what it is like a hang because everyone always says that like we were talking earlier, like the Sunset Strip isn't like what it used to be. Well, it will be on that day because I invited
Yeah.
pretty much the people from the Sunset Strip, and not to mention not just the people that were in the bands, but the actual fans that we actually handed flyers to. I found a lot of them, and
Yeah. And I
because a lot of them
know
went to go to the Blackboard Jungle show,
I've
so I
actually
found
been
like
I actually been in contact with a few of these people on Facebook, and they're very excited to
yeah,
show up. I can tell you.
yeah.
So
Oh, good, good.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in contact with a bunch of them too, and they are like some of them have their own like hair metal groups, like remembering the 80s and 90s,
Oh, absolutely.
Sunset Strip scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
April. Her name's April. Leaf. I guess it's pronounced Leif or maybe Leif.
Oh
And
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
didn't
Yes.
realize. Yeah, I didn't even realize that was her thing. But she asked me if she could repost, and I said yeah. And then I realized it was over there, and I go, oh great, this is perfect. So because
Yeah. More
I want
promotion.
to post my stuff on there,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be rude. And so if they ask, but they're just asking me, because this is like the only thing that's happening, as far as if you're into that stuff and you started it so much so you started your own group. This is the thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Where
absolutely.
everyone's getting together. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been helping out in a way too. Like I've been sharing it with people, with fans, with groups, and I've been in contact with actual fans, quote unquote, who is actually gonna show up on the day to look at this, to watch
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
it's
Because
it's
everyone
gonna
was
be good.
concerned that, oh, it's so early. I was like, with this kind of a thing though, it's like a once in a lifetime thing because you don't know if there's going to be two, like I said,
Yeah,
and so,
I mean, can it really be
especially
too
the
early?
first one.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, can it be too early? Because if
yeah,
Van Halen was playing there, trust me, it would be sold out. If Motley Crue's
exactly.
playing at 5 o'clock, it'd be sold out.
Oh,
So I'm not
absolutely.
saying that this is we're bigger than that. But what I am saying is to people like me or you that actually prefer Sunset Strip bands
Yeah,
that weren't viewed, it is like that. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
It's better than that.
yeah, I know people who are mighty excited for this. So, and that's what I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah. So do
ask as
I.
well, because personally, I'm all the way over in Sweden, right? So I'm in Scandinavia. It's far away. It's across the big pond,
Yeah,
as I
yeah,
like to say. So that's why I wanted to ask. Is it the whole show, or the most of the show, is going to be filmed in some sort of way, right? Or something, so we can
yes,
watch. Yeah,
yes.
because for us who can't attend, it would be awesome to miss out. Like it would be sad to miss out. So
Yeah, like Theodore from Imaginable Piece. I was gonna have my son film it and like rent the equipment,
yeah,
but he was saying that his friend is actually a professional filmer. And I go, let's make sure he goes there by
yeah.
paying him,
Yeah,
actually employ
exactly.
him.
Yeah, you can actually give him a little bit, and then you can just film the whole thing, and then you can upload it to your YouTube
Yeah,
channel or
like
something,
give him a
right?
few $100 or something,
Yeah, yeah,
Like what's I spent more than a few $100 just driving all the way to Pasadena, which is like an hour from my house, hour and a half from my house,
yeah,
or a little more than an hour and a half. And I've done it every Sunday. When you and then paid for rehearsal too. When you add that up, it's way more than just like $300. It's worth it.
yeah, absolutely, and to me too. Like, yeah, I would do the same. And is there any entry fee to go into this jam?
Yeah, it's $10.
ten
But like I
dollars.
said,
Yes.
the guest list because the Viper Room, Tommy Black, the general manager, he's actually performing with us too. He was in
Yeah.
the Gutter Cats, and when you look at the thing, it says Melody Black. That's how he's performing as Melody Black.
Yeah.
So the Gutter Cats aren't performing. It's a member, like it says members of, and he was a member of the Gutter Cats.
Yeah.
Now he said he was going to call the singer and see if he wants to come down and do some songs, but I don't know if he did. That sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
hard to say still.
But
Yeah,
I
it's getting
mean,
more solidified as it's getting closer. It's solidifying.
yeah, and to me, to be honest with you, like $10 is nothing. I mean, it's worth.
That's nothing, dude. I
Yeah,
spend more
yeah,
at
yeah.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, exactly. I would pay way more to see this, like no joke.
Yeah, so the
So,
Viper Room, Tommy was telling me that their goal, because that's not even money to them either. By the way, that's nothing to them. That doesn't
yeah,
the $10 it doesn't even matter. And
yeah,
even if you add up everybody in the room, it's still nothing to them. They said what is something to them though is people coming down and ordering drinks because they're going to be sky high because that's how it is in Hollywood,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
of
want people
course.
to drink. So
But
my job is to say that from the stage and let people know before they even go to the show. Order drinks, guys. Be cool.
yeah, and I
Hook the
know you're
Viper Room
used to
up.
that. Yeah, you're used to saying that,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Yeah. So,
yeah. For my cover bands,
yeah,
always make me,
exactly.
you know. And when I play at clubs, they always have me doing the beer. I have to read a piece of paper that says the beer specials that night or
Yeah, of
whatever.
course, but it's pretty
You know,
fun though. It's pretty cool fun. Yeah.
uh, Kamikaze's half off until 10 o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
the kind of
pretty,
thing that.
pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so there's that show, and that's really what I'm all about. Is because a lot of people think like I'm trying to make it bigger than that. No,
No, no.
I'm trying to make it
Yeah, and
right
that's what
there.
I mean. That's what I like about you, to talk with you and to talk to you. Like, you're about the music, about the hang, about the people, about the scene.
Yeah,
You're
and
not
about the
about.
Sunset Strip,
Yeah,
the
yeah. You're not
scene.
about. Yeah, exactly. So, and you know the bands, you know the music, and you know the obscure bands, and I love it.
Yeah,
So,
I actually listen to those bands. Where most of these guys there, they don't listen to the other bands.
yeah,
They don't
exactly.
even know.
That's why
Yeah,
it's
so
so
I'm
cool to.
different. I'm different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm like a fan, but I was actually in the band.
Exactly. So for those
Yeah,
listening, I will probably link this in the description, but you should check out the YouTube channel you have.
Re- yeah, it's
'Cause-
Revenge on the Sunset Strip. That's what It's been or Revenge on the Sunset Strip. That's what it's been
Yeah,
titled. The night.
I will link
Yeah.
this, but I will also link your YouTube channel because you have a nice playlist of these bands, and you also upload
Yeah.
your own videos that I would highly
Yes.
suggest people checking out. So
Yeah, I have
yeah,
two. One where it's just my upload, and another one where I actually mix and match like their actual other people's uploads with mine,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
it's like interchanged. Yeah. Although lately it's been just mine because I haven't even had time to listen to anybody else because I'm so busy just trying to promote this show.
But that's
But I'm like
understandable
this.
though. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm like the sole promoter. So I got to tell everybody, hey, now don't forget to post that on your Facebook, the new
yeah, yeah,
poster.
yeah. Of course, of
And
course.
then they do it. They don't just do it though. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, just copy paste it. What's the problem? Yeah,
Yeah, you don't realize how many hours a day I spend on the phone, guys. Like, hook
yeah,
me up. 5 minutes for you, and it's for you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
What means so much? It means so much when they do that because
Of
then
course.
all of their friends really know it's legit too. Like, oh, they
Yeah,
are playing because I heard that such and such is playing, but I don't see any him talking about it at all.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah, that's a people. You should get
Yeah,
on it. Yeah.
yeah. So I've been telling people, and most people have done it. Still, some of them that I told didn't do it yet, though. So I'm like, come on, dude.
Come
Do I got to
on,
ask you
dude.
twice?
Yeah, just do
You know what I
it.
mean? Like,
Just do it.
I
Yeah.
know that we're adults and there's some people have some crazy things going on in their life with like illnesses and a family
Yeah.
member's illness and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I understand.
that's
So,
understandable. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
But
yeah, so that's what I'm doing is trying to bring back the Sunset Strip, even if it's just here and there. Because to be honest with you, I wouldn't go there every weekend, even if it was packed, because I'm too old. Why would I? That's like going to Disneyland every weekend.
yeah, because
It's
you have.
fun,
I
but
mean, to be fair, you have your own life too, right? You have a job, you have a wife, and
well,
you
I'm a
also have a
musician
life.
for a living,
Yeah, but still,
but
you have a
yeah,
life. You have a life. You can't
yeah, and
just.
I want to make it special too. Like if it happens too often, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But if it's like once or twice a year, that's like twice a year is what I'm shooting for. Like like
yeah,
October's and the end of summer and the beginning of summer. When it's good before it gets hot and after it's cold. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, perfect.
Yeah, where you can actually stand outside on the sidewalk and without a
Exactly,
jacket.
exactly.
That's what I'm
That's
trying to
perfect.
those two time of the year.
So
And so if it happened twice a year, I'd probably only go. If it happened every day of the week, every day, every weekend, I'd probably still only go twice a year
yeah,
because, you know what I mean?
I
Because
mean that's
that's just
understandable.
and yeah, yeah. So it wouldn't matter if it's not packed on the other days of the Sunset Strip. If our thing's not happening, who cares?
Exactly. And I mean, there is some people here that I'm kind of interested in. Like, for example, Dirty Tricks, for example, your old band, Mark Avery. Like, I
Yeah,
heard he hasn't been
and
singing for a long time, right? And he actually, like, if you're looking at your YouTube channel, there's videos of you
he's what?
rehearsing, like you and
Yeah,
Mark
we've been
Avery.
rehearsing for
Yeah,
about a month and a half or 2 months now, I
yeah,
guess.
and I
Like
mean,
every Sunday.
yeah, and I mean, he still has it. He still got it. So,
Yeah, that's why we've been doing all these rehearsals because he wasn't sure how it was going to come out because he's not a singer for a living. He's a he owns Premier Painting.
yeah,
He's the
exactly.
owner of that.
Yeah,
So he's like a rich guy. And so he's like,
yeah,
I don't even know if I could do this. So the first one is just me and him. Then we added Ernie, and then we got Theodore,
yeah,
from Imaginal Peace playing drums and for Dirty Tricks. And then we
yeah,
have Scott, the actual original bass player, coming out from Oklahoma
yeah.
3 days before, and I'm
It's
picking him and
awesome.
Billy Cohen up from the airport, Ontario Airport, on Tuesday night at like 9:40, I think.
Yeah,
One's 9:40 and the other one's 9:50.
there's a
And so they're spending the night with me for spending the next several days until they go back home. And I'm dropping them off at the airport on Saturday. I got to wake up at 10 in the morning because Billy's flight's at 12, you know.
it's all
And
worth
so
it
you got
though.
to get there like an hour before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Scots is like at 2, so we're going to have to sit around for a couple hours, maybe have some lunch.
Yeah, that's
It
pretty.
won't matter. It'll
Seems
go
like
by fast.
yeah, it seems like a good idea. And it's a big shout out
Yeah.
to Billy Cohen because he's a legend.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way he interacts with people and his fans, and he's sending out stuff, and he's always so kind. And big shout out to
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
dude. Big shout out.
Yeah, although he hasn't posted the poster yet. I just checked this morning. I'm like, dude, I told him last night, then the night before, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he posted something. He posted that his music got released on Spotify, I believe.
On
So,
Apple something I believe too. Apple Music maybe or something. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
yeah. So you saw that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
I
did.
understand. That's what you were doing right now. But also, post the poster because that's what you're actually playing live.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Rings of Saturn, his soul band, Rings of Saturn. I mean, it's so good.
I'm playing with him for Rings of Saturn. I'm playing keyboards on For Real, which is like that's my favorite song out of
I
all the
mean,
Sunset Strip bands. Even though it's not even like a heavy metal song at all. It's like a I don't even know what almost new wave-ish,
yeah, but
kind of in a way
it's a
with their
great song.
keyboards.
Great song though.
But
Great song.
that's my favorite. Yeah, and all these bands have songs that are like just magical. Like Rattles. First thing that pops in my head is Rattlesnake Shake, and Blackboard Jungle and stuff like that. Where their songs are like so good. You're like, wow.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah,
if I
yeah,
had
for
to
sure.
pick just one, yeah, one song, it would be For Real from Rings of Saturn. That
Yeah,
particular song. There's there's something special about it. It does key changes and it's just interesting.
yeah. It's a really good song. It's from a great band. So yeah,
And he sings so good. Like singer
yeah,
Dirty
yeah,
Tricks
yeah,
goes, I go, yeah, we're because there's no order to this. I'm pulling it out of a hat.
yeah,
Like who goes
exactly.
on next?
Yeah,
Because it's gonna be packed right from the get go. Because I'm having everyone get there, all the band members, anyways, at 4, and then it starts. They got to get there to put their stuff in there, and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Of course, because
Also,
it's
they got
starting at 5. Yeah.
and they got to make sure they get in because once it's to capacity, they're not going to let people in. But
Oh,
I'm playing. You
so
should have got here early,
yeah, so
earlier.
people are actually gonna be left outside. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so because that place is small, and the
It's
Viper Room
so
very small.
so I'm
It's like
gonna say this once
half
to
the
you
size of the
people:
Roxy.
be there early, guys. Be there early if you
Yeah,
want to get in.
and they get tickets because if you have a ticket, you definitely get in. But
Yeah,
if you're like, but the thing is, like, they can't go past legal capacity because ever since that Great White thing happened with burning
yep,
everybody up
yep,
with the
yep, yep.
fireworks,
Yeah,
that
that's a
that
sad. Yep,
yeah, they're strict in Hollywood.
yep, absolutely understandable though. And people are
It used to not be
blaming.
strict.
Uh, People are actually blaming Great White, but it's not entirely their fault. To be fair, like I know the deal about that whole story because they're
Oh, what do
blaming,
you mean?
they're blaming the band, but there was some other issues behind the scenes, quote unquote, that actually made it burn down. Because they're blaming the band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly, but that's not entirely fair. But I think that's a story for another time. But I'm
Oh,
not.
okay. I thought you were gonna tell the story right now.
No, no, no. I
So I
mean,
don't
like,
know
because I know
the
I don't.
story.
I'm not 100% sure, so I can't. So don't quote me on this. But there was certain things behind the scenes with people working there that is actually at fault. But people are actually putting everything on Great White, and then I'm just gonna say that's unfair because
Yeah.
to me it's not their fault. It's very sad, sad day, sad that people got hurt and so on. But yeah,
The guitar player died, right? Yeah, I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
believe.
yeah, exactly, and it's super sad, and I agree with that. But it's not fair to blame the band. That's all I'm gonna say. Like there's some stuff behind the scenes that people should probably check out and look on Google. So if you want to know the whole
So,
story, because I don't know everything to 100%, but all I'm saying is people shouldn't just blame the band entirely. That's all I'm gonna say.
right, right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like as far as like the movie The Dirt and those things, a lot of people your age, that's how they tell me they got into the Census Strip bands. Right? The
All
local
right.
bands was
Yeah. All
that movie
right.
particularly.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for me. Not for me.
So you were already before that
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
because of your dad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
I have
mostly my
never seen that
family.
movie
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. 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 So mostly my family and my dad, especially, because he's still a glam sleaze guy, right? Like you. Like he's still in the scene. Because he's a
Oh,
major
really? In the
fan. Yeah. Yeah.
scene,
No. 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 Not the way. He's not a musician. He never was. But he has the
but
look.
he goes to the scene.
Yeah, he goes to the scene. He helps out. He dresses like it. He listens to it. You know the deal, like yourself.
Oh, he has
But
long hair.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
So
okay.
he lives
Wow.
it. Yeah, he loves that stuff, and that's why he has like a
Yeah,
huge record collection. So
people act like it goes out of style, but actually, we don't. We never. We're still alive, so you just stop putting it on the radio. We would if they kept KNAC, we would have.
yeah,
I would have continued listening to it. They just didn't. Like it
yeah,
didn't sell enough or whatever. Not too many people jump ship, but there's so many of us that didn't jump ship. You know, and so like as you could tell, like when you go to like a Motley Crue concert with Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Poison, those are the people that stay true to that music. They still
yeah,
like that
absolutely.
music. they didn't stop listening to it.
Yeah, of
They might have
course.
stopped listening to it for that moment when grunge was popular, just to check it out, and for like a year, and yeah, that's
Yeah,
cheesy. And then but
yeah,
when they go back to pop in, look up stuff on YouTube,
yeah.
what do they look up? Fucking Motley Crue again,
Yeah,
the
exactly. Like
childhood stuff.
I
Yeah,
mean, my dad actually told stories about that in the scene that was happening here back then, right? And he doesn't like grunge at all, right? My dad, like he's more
right. And I
of the
wasn't into
glam.
it either.
Yeah, he was like he's super duper hard rock glam sleaze. So
Yeah, I
he
don't like the earnestness of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
like,
So he said like he
you
didn't
know,
even he barely checked it out. He said like he checked it out for a day and then he was like, oh nope, this is not for me. And then back he
uh,
went. Yeah. So
too serious. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
okay, guys, you
yeah,
guys don't even sound like fun people at all. Like it's
yeah,
like a
exactly. I
going to
mean,
a party and then the guys are serious.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm all for certain serious songs every now and then, but it still
Yeah,
appears
yeah, yeah. But
in
just to be
glam, right?
every
Like so.
song,
Yeah, exactly.
every
So
song is serious though, and like
yeah,
from like Alice in Chains and
yeah,
you
yeah,
know Nirvana, you know everything's so serious. And although his lyrics aren't all that serious, they're very silly. But the
yeah,
tone and the mood of the people and his mood is very boring
yeah,
to
exactly. And
me.
every song is kind of super duper mega serious, and
Yeah,
I mean, no disrespect, really. Like, come on, like I can't really
yeah,
disrespect them, but like that, I'm all I'm gonna say is that grunge scene is not for me. That's all I'm gonna say. So
yeah. I don't even think that they care what some glam metal dude thinks anyway, so it's not gonna hurt their feelings. This
yeah,
dude
exactly.
likes glam metal. Who what his opinion means nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's fine. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly.
just how I feel. It's just the years you were born too. You know, it has for me it has a lot to do with that. You know, if you were born in a different time, usually you like different music, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And I mean, I was born in the middle of the 90s, right? So when I grew up, there was no scene, quote unquote, in that particular way, especially here. So I never
Mm.
understood the rivalry in that sense because there was a rivalry between thrash metal and glam as well, right? Like you probably know and heard,
Oh
like
yeah,
Metallica, Slayer versus Motley Crue. I mean, Metallica versus Motley Crue. There's interviews of
oh yeah.
this.
Among my friends, when Metallica got popular,
Yeah,
like in the mid '80s, or like '86 ish, that's when they really got popular. But
yeah, yeah,
amongst all my friends,
yeah,
um, like is the album Master of Puppets. That
yeah,
was the one
yeah,
that really broke in San Diego,
yeah, yeah,
and so half of us were like, "This is they're as great as Led Zeppelin and
yeah,
you know that sort of thing, you know."
yeah,
And the glam metal, and they were all glam metal lovers, you know.
yeah,
They didn't dress it or anything, but they were all into Motley Crue, and now they're not.
yeah.
Like because Metallica made the distinction like that. We're not like that. We're like Motorhead, and we're a different kind of music, you know, like Slayer and all this stuff, you know.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so you would the rivalry was amongst your five rock friends. Like three of them are all into Metallica, and now they hate Motley Crue and
Yeah,
rap.
yeah, yeah, and
But
I saw these interviews. They're still on YouTube, by the way. Like Motley, I mean Metallica, Lars Ulrich, the drummer from Metallica, like
yeah,
bashing Motley Crue and all of this. And I mean, I never understood
yeah,
that because I like some thrash metal too, right? Like I am a music fan, so I like heavy metal, I like glam, I like thrash. I even like the harder
yeah,
stuff too. But like, so I never
yeah.
understood the whole oh I need to hate you because I like this genre. Like I never understood that, you know?
That's what I was telling you.
Yeah,
That's because that's the punk rock side of
yeah,
Metallica. You know, they were using not that they sound punk rock, but they had that's the attitude of Metallica is punk rock,
yeah, yeah,
and
exactly. Especially back
there's
then.
a punk rock attitude applied to metal, and
Yeah,
that's a way to get popular by putting everybody else down. That's the
yeah,
tactic. That's just the style of promotion that a punk rock band does,
yeah,
which thrash metal adopted.
yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Metallica. Like, I like the first three, four albums, but then yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but yeah, I'm not even. I thought they were pretty good, and I could tell that the singers, he had a touch of genius. Sometimes I'm like, wow, that's pretty genius. But I have to say, it's just like grunge to me. It's too serious. Like for
yeah,
instance, I saw
yeah,
Queensryche open up for Metallica, and they had all male fans, and
yeah.
that's to me like I don't know what you know. Uh, that's a lame concert, and they were
Yeah.
booing Queensryche the whole time. You know.
I mean, I love Queensryche way more than
I
Metallica.
love
Queensryche,
Queensryche.
yeah,
Yeah, me
Queensryche
too. Way more.
is Queensryche is excellent. I love them. So Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Especially back then because it was like Operation Mindcrime.
Oh,
I
that's a
saw them open
genius
up for
album.
Kiss. Yeah, I saw them open up for Kiss in like 84, I think, of
Oh.
85.
Oh,
I think
nice.
it was 85 with for the Rage for Order album,
Oh, nice.
the second record,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the second full length anyways.
Was it
And
a good show?
yeah, what?
Was it a good show? Was the show good?
Oh yeah, Queensryche was amazing.
Yeah,
And Kiss was good too, even though I never was a fan of Kiss. They weren't popular at all where I'm from.
yeah.
Like I never heard of them at all.
But
Isn't that
do
funny?
you
Like
like
you know
it?
how like just a little. I like them a little because
Yeah.
the thing about them is not their music. It's you know how like Gene Simmons acts like a know-it-all and Paul Stanley, but especially Gene Simmons.
Yeah,
I used to
I'm not a
read their
big fan.
interviews.
Yeah.
I used to read their interviews and their personalities made me so I didn't even like them. But I
I.
did buy the Lick It Up tape when it came out in '83, and
Oh
I
yeah,
liked
I have
two
that
of the
too.
songs.
Mm.
Yeah, I liked two of the songs on that, but I didn't like any of the other songs. I liked Lick It Up, and I really liked Lick It Up. And I
Yeah.
liked Young and Wasted was a good song too. But
Oh, that's my
everything else I couldn't
favorite of
even.
the album too. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but everything else I couldn't remember at all.
Yeah.
And because I grew up with like Foreigner and Boston, it's like before hair metal. Because
Yeah.
I was born in '71, so
Yeah.
my
Exactly.
stepfather he was listening to that kind of stuff, like Boston, Foreigner,
Yeah.
and Journey and stuff like that, and that was all over the radio, and so I would hear that on the rock station in San Diego, KGB,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Absolutely.
you can't top that. And to me, that is hair metal without the look. Like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff that the hair metal bands did is very much from Boston and REO Speedwagon. I could just tell. Loverboy, that's the first concert I ever went to was Loverboy with Joan Jett
I
and like the
mean, that's
metal
a
dudes.
great band though, Loverboy. I actually like Loverboy. I mean, I actually
I
like them.
love Loverboy.
Yeah.
That's one of
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. I like them a
Yeah, and
lot.
to
Yeah.
me, that's hair metal before hair metal. They just don't look hair metal.
Exactly.
But the music has that same spirit of a hair metal band,
Yeah.
where it's got a little bit of the keyboards in there, like a lot of the bands, and you know,
Yeah. Great
it
band.
has it's songs about girls, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was born to run out.
Oh, that's yeah.
It,
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good, man.
yeah,
So good.
those kind of lyrics, the craziest boy you've ever seen. I gotta do it my way. Hot blooded's like that, where it's like bragging. Like blues. It's blues, though. People say, oh, that's cheesy. Then you don't like blues because you never listen to old blues. They're bragging too. It's like the same kind of lyrics where they're talking about how sexy they are.
Yeah, but "Turn Me Loose" from Loverboy, yeah, that's a like such a good song. Like 10 out of 10.
That's like one of my favorite songs. Or like All the Nova. That's like before hair metal, but
Yeah,
to me, that's like pre hair metal. That's what hair metal is, though. Like fantasy. Life is just a fantasy. Can you live this fantasy life? To me,
yeah,
that's straight up Sunset Strip lyric right there.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I actually am. I am person. I don't know how you see this because you were actually there, so I'm not sure how this affected you personally because you were alive and in the strip. But because I know many people have different opinions on this, at least the people I talk to, because they actually kind of enjoy it and they don't and blah blah blah. But I'm actually a fan of the power ballads too, like the ballads. But I know
Yeah,
that
it
ballads get a
depends.
lot
It
of
depends.
because I know ballads get a lot of slack too. You know, it's
Yeah, yeah. It depends
it's
on
all
which
for the
ballad.
girls. Yeah, it's all for the girls, or it's like too cheesy, or it's all for the girls, or whatever. But I actually enjoy them, right? So I'm not sure how you
Yeah,
feel
no, I
about
like
that, but
certain ones. Yeah, because like Boston did that, and Journey had ballads.
yeah,
But I always hold it to that standard, like more than a feeling,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
so beautiful, or like
yeah.
they have a bunch of slow songs, like Amanda, take me by
Oh,
the
right.
hand, Amanda, and I love that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Same here.
but there was some ballads where I thought sounded too normal, like kind of like it didn't have that good of a lyric. For instance, I'll name some of the successful ones,
Yeah,
like "Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone" from Cinderella. I didn't really care for that song.
yeah,
Or "Every Rose Has Its Thorn." I didn't really care for that song. But the song that I liked from them that was a ballad though was and I love it. I even covered it on YouTube a long time ago. "I Won't Forget You." I
yeah.
won't
That's.
forget you, baby. I won't forget. I just like that
I mean, the
that one.
melody in that song is just off the
Yeah,
charts. Yeah, I love it too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and I didn't like all the ballads. It's like certain ballads. Like I really like "Patience" from Guns N' Roses. I really love that.
Yeah, I actually like that
Just a
song
little
too.
patience,
Yeah, I
especially
like
the
them.
ending when he starts screaming.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been
absolutely.
walking the streets and all that high stuff.
Yeah, I love that one too.
And so it just depends.
I
And
mean,
and
to be
and
fair, I mean your bands have a few good ballads too.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean Color Me
Now,
Red, it's sort of a ballad, I would say, like for Dirty
sort
Tricks.
of, but it's really
Sort of,
mini.
sort of.
It's really like Minnie the Moocher. That's what it's. Or people say, what's it called? Stray Cat Strut,
Yeah,
from the Stray Cats.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
that's not actually the influence on that. That's why it doesn't have any of those style guitars. The influence was I was watching because I wrote that song. The Blues Brother. They were doing that song actually. Oh, because we were rehearsing it.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
see
Yeah,
the rehearsal videos. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
And yeah, so that what that was it's Minnie the Moocher from the movie Blues Brothers. I'm like, we need a, and we were I was writing songs for the Dirty Tricks set, trying to make a whole set,
yeah,
and I go, we need a song like this, like, folks, here's the story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a low down
yeah.
hoochie coocha.
I mean,
Like, oh
yeah, I mean Color Me Red. I mean it's a short and sweet and good song. I mean I love it. So, I
yeah,
mean
that's
I
one of my
like the
favorites. That's the first
lyrics
time
too.
any. Thank you. That's Casablanca without actually watching the movie Casablanca.
Yeah,
I go, I want something that's like Casablanca, but I don't know what. I never seen that movie, so I think it's about this. And then I just made up my own
yeah, yeah,
plot
yeah,
about like
absolutely.
some girl running from a guy, and
Yeah,
he's for some reason, and he gives the guy a gun and to kill him for her, and the guy comes up on him, and then he does kill him, and he's like, and then the cops came. I heard a knock on the door. I heard a scream. He said, "Pump, you're under arrest," that sort of thing.
yeah,
And then at the end, it says, "Color me red," because he shot the guy and he's got blood on him.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
I was telling Mark that because he didn't even realize that's what the song was about because we never talked about it.
Yeah, exactly. He
But
just
that's
sang
it's
it.
yeah. I
Yeah,
just told him that. He's
yeah.
like, "That's what it's about." Yeah, color me red. He thought. I think he thought he thought it meant embarrassed, like color me red, like I'm embarrassed.
Oh
That
yeah,
was color
absolutely.
me red. I'm in. Yeah, I shot him and I got blood on me,
Yeah,
so I'm
exactly.
color. So I got color me red. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
And I mean, Imagine World Peace has a few good slower songs, like Anything, for example. It's one of my
Yeah, anything
favorites.
that was written before I joined the band, so that's
Exactly.
Lake and
Yeah,
Theodore.
exactly. So
Yeah,
it's not entirely you there, but I actually
no, no,
really enjoy
no,
that
that's
song.
Lake.
Yeah, I enjoy
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
It's a really good
Who I
one.
talk to all the time, like actually on in a text, not in a messenger, but in a regular text,
Yeah.
and all the time. It's kind of funny.
Do you know who wrote that song?
You,
Because I'm not sure. Because I
I
don't
would
know.
assume it would have to be Lake because no one plays guitar but Lake. So it'd have to be Lake did the music
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Theodore. I know he always writes the words
Yeah. Okay.
and the melody always.
Yeah,
So for
because
every song,
yeah, because they anything has good words, like has good lyrics. So I can enjoy that one.
yeah. And I want to be with you is written with me. So that's me and Theodore.
Yeah, that's the one, right? Where there's a short video on your YouTube channel where you sit in the apartment. That's that
Well,
song, right?
yeah, that one too. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
What's that
also,
one
if you
called?
look closely, I want to be with you.
I want to be with you.
If
Yeah.
you look
Thank you.
closely to our imaginal piece rehearsal that we just did acoustically, we did anything.
Yeah.
The second song is "I Want to Be with You." If you watch it all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Because I always want. Because I asked you this last time, but that video is not gonna be now. But so I'm gonna ask you again because a demo of that song exists somewhere out there, right? A demo of it.
Well, Theodore found seven of his cassettes, and he brought it to that particular rehearsal for that guy. The other guy was in a band called Desire. Do you ever heard of them?
Which one?
I didn't realize how popular they are, but he gave me
You
when I
mean
was there. He gave
Desire?
me like Desire, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah. Yeah.
gave me a
Absolutely.
stack of Rock City Newses and Screamer, and they have full page ads in like half of them. He's in the magazine way more than me, but but they, but but they weren't a Sunset Strip band. They came up from Orange County, so they never handed out flyers. Their thing was to just pay for the ads.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
and yeah, but and so I never really noticed them, but now I real that's he was the singer of Desire, and he also
Yeah.
played
Desire
guitar in
is.
Armed and Dangerous.
I
So when you
mean,
see like on the poster it says Armed and Dangerous
and Desire.
and
Yeah.
Desire, that's because it's just him.
Yeah. I
Although I
mean,
think a couple of guys actually are coming down, like Greg, the singer of Armed and Dangerous. He's the one who films though, so he's the one that we're gonna try to have film it.
yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe someone will hold the camera and he can come up and sing some song with us. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So you're
He,
telling me that
he has
Theodore
a jam
actually.
at the end. So
So you're telling me that Theodore actually found the demos of, of the
yeah,
songs?
like a
Oh,
seven of them, like seven cassettes filled with music, and he even found the original demo, which is off the charts. The first one that they did with not me was Lake and Richard.
yeah.
The very first demo with everything, anything, the one that you had, and Johnny, that's off that first demo too. Johnny, be my number one,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and it
exactly.
has a song called "Imagine World Peace." Can you imagine world peace? Wouldn't it be something? World peace. Can you imagine?
Cause
We do
this
a little piece of
is
that at the end of the Viper Room show we did in 2008 to
yeah,
close the show. We did the hook,
yeah.
just the hook, all the way till the curtain closes.
Because like um, so I own a few demos and cassettes and CDs because I'm
Oh,
trying
and
to
Social
buy.
Little Butterflies also on that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, no, no. It's okay. Like I'm just saying, like, so I'm trying to buy my music. I always do. So I have a few demos and cassettes and CDs and whatever. But it's so
Mm-hmm.
hard to find a certain songs, especially from Imagine World Peace, because there's not so many out there. Because I think the
Well,
cassettes are well hidden.
we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have an album that we never released any of those
Yeah, I
songs.
think it's a
We
bootleg.
released them
Like,
on MySpace,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and
So I
then
think
someone
it's.
stole it off of MySpace, but we don't mind.
I actually
You know what
paid
I mean?
for it too, so the money should go to you guys. But yeah, because I actually
Yeah,
bought
but
it. But yeah,
yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. But
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I know that it's not that they're not making a lot of money, so
No, 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 no. They
you know,
absolutely didn't.
yeah,
I can tell you this for
like
sure. But
thousands of dollars. Hey, wait a
no, no,
minute,
no,
you
no,
know,
no, 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 not even
nah,
close.
I
But
yeah.
uh,
So we're not really worried about that
so I'm
because
kind of
it's not.
looking for like "I Wanna Be with You" and certain other songs, but maybe they will appear on this upcoming Eonian release. Maybe that
Yeah,
I'm
so
hearing
we
about.
did it twice. We did a four-track version of that, and then we did
Yeah,
a studio version of that.
yeah,
And and Theodore was asking me if I had the studio version, and I said no, I don't. And
yeah,
he goes, well, maybe it's on one of these four cassettes, and he or seven cassettes. And then he texted me last night saying that he found, well, he didn't bring him with him, but he found a bunch of from his house in Florida. He goes, there's a bunch of DATs there that I'm pretty sure it's on. And I'm pretty sure it is on because when I was in the band, that's when he was using the DATs, and that's when we did that demo when I was in the band.
oh,
Like I
that's
said, I wrote that
awesome.
song. So it's almost positively on there. It was recorded at the same time as I Like You, so it's that session.
Because I would like to
If you ever
own.
heard I
Cause
Like You.
yeah, exactly. Because I hope the Eonian stuff is actually coming to fruition. Because I would like to own this. Because those songs I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have yet.
Well, I
Like
was on a chain text last night, and I'm coming home from my piano lesson. I teach music,
yeah,
and on my way home, they're chaining. I'm on the chain, so they're talking back and forth about this very subject, about the
yeah,
tapes and the DATs and all that. That's how I
yeah,
found out.
yeah, exactly.
One of these guys put me on the chain. I'm not sure which, and but but they're going back. My phone's going bleep bleep bleep
Yeah, yeah,
bleep 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 bleep. Like all the way home. I'm like, geez, what the heck is this? Because I'm driving, so I can't even look.
yeah, yeah. Of
And there's like a
course.
whole bunch of other people also texting me just because just because I've been contacting everybody. So I
Yeah.
got home, and there's like 50 that I got to return. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh damn, dude. Yeah,
There's like certain times a day where I suddenly get a bunch of phone calls, like or texts. I mean, like at 2 o'clock, all of a sudden, boom. On some reason, 9 o'clock at night and 7 o'clock at night, like those.
yeah,
This is where it's just like a flood. I guess people get off work at the same time. I'm not
yeah,
sure,
yeah. People are
but
having
it's kind
free
of funny.
time or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh, and like early in the morning, like this morning, it was early in the morning. There's Rachel and a bunch of people, but it's probably because they're doing it like overnight, and then I wake up and there's like, 15 of them in the morning or whatever, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
crap, I gotta write these people back, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So
Of course.
I'm like doing this like 24/7. Like it's like crazy how much work I do
Yeah, you're doing,
on
you're
this show.
doing, you're doing God's work here, dude. I'm.
I'm doing everybody's. I mean, I'm doing, like if like I'm literally doing it pretty much all by myself,
You
and I'm
do,
asking
you
like
do.
people to post on their Facebook. That's about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, you do. I mean, yeah. You should get paid for all of this. I'm not gonna lie, like almost like you're doing so much for this. It's insane.
Yeah, but I did so many hours of work that it would be so high if you were to actually compensate me by the hour. It'd be
Yeah, yeah,
like
of
sky high.
course.
But again, but this isn't like a. I'm not really doing this for a
No,
job.
no,
I'm
no, of
doing this
course.
because yeah, I'm doing it just because it's like my passion. Same as you upload YouTube videos, you know
Yeah,
what I mean,
yeah,
of the glam metal and sleaze bands, you know?
yeah, yeah, of course.
Like no one's paying you for that, but you
No,
must
no,
have
no.
spent countless hours on that. But it's
Yeah,
just
of course.
passion.
Yeah, of course. It's all. It's like all for the music, for the scene, for the music, for the people. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And plus that, and I have, before I did it, I had fantasies of actually playing with all these different guys and meeting them for the first time and actually picking up a guitar or whatever it is
yeah,
and actually playing with like Rachel from Legs Up, you know what I mean? Or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
whoever, you know what I mean? Like Billy from Rings of Set, all these guys. So to actually, like when I went to, to play with Wicked Jester, I had never met either one of them. And I met the
yeah,
singer on the phone the night before in a video conference call, but he ended up
yeah.
not being able to do it because he was a big fan of the X Idols.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
heard that, and I mean, I saw the rehearsal video you uploaded, like where you actually
where
practiced.
I'm singing,
Yeah, 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 and
yeah, I and
you practice "Ways to Be Wicked." It's like one of my favorite songs.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
the other one was
so
Get
good.
Back, Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's so good, man, so good.
Yeah, so like to actually like set up and play with Sunset Strip guys, and then we're reminiscing about the old times and how we know a lot of the same people. You know him? Oh, I used to play in a band with him. Oh my god! Oh, I
Yeah,
played with him. Like the drummer telling me that he's in a band right now called the Tiki Creeps. The drummer of Wicked Gesture,
yeah,
and it's Chris from Swingin' Thing and Henry from Swingin' Thing. And I was like, I was wondering why Mike wasn't there, like who this drummer was. It's
yeah,
you? And he goes, yeah. And then you
yeah.
find out he's his job is doing the CO2 cartridges for the Kiss concerts. So he actually works for Kiss, but he's
But
not a fan of Kiss.
yeah,
But
but
the
it.
guitar player loves Kiss. That's
Yeah,
like his favorite, Motley Crue and Kiss.
I mean,
But like I said, Kiss was not popular when I was little, like where I'm from, because it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
black neighborhood mostly.
yeah, because
And so
it's.
what was popular was disco, and
Yeah,
that's what I've been playing in 30 years
yeah,
is a
yeah,
disco
yeah,
tribute band.
yeah, exactly.
Boogie Nights, singing. I'm the singer.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's
I don't even
videos of
play
that on your
guitar.
channel as well, so people should check that out because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
actually
And if you
uploading
notice,
it.
I'm not playing guitar.
Exactly, you're just singing.
The guy that's playing guitar, he's like I think 10 years older than me. He's or maybe even 11. He's the original guitar player of Roxanne, but they were called Toy Razor. Him and his brother was a drummer,
Oh, I
and he was the
didn't
guitar
know
player.
that. Oh, damn.
Yeah, and I got the Toy Razor demos here, live rehearsals and a live show, and
Oh,
they sound great.
dude, I don't have that either. Oh man, that's
And
gold for
some
me.
of the
Yeah,
songs are Roxanne songs with like different words, but they have this one riff that goes down, chicka dum bum bum dum bum, chicka dum bum 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 bum, like that sort of thing. It's a Roxanne song later on,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
was originally a Toy Razor. The riff was from Toy Razor, and there's my guitar player playing it.
That's
In like
awesome.
1983, or 82. It's like
Yeah,
so
that's a long
long.
time ago. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like, and they were just a Riverside band. That's where Roxanne is from. Are you familiar with Roxanne at all?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I like them actually. I mean, I have the
Yeah,
Roxanne
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, 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 for sure. Yep, absolutely.
I got their album here actually,
Yeah, same
and
here. It's. I mean, I love them. So absolutely.
yeah, they're the Boogie Nights. That's the original disco band.
Yeah,
And they
pretty
did
insane.
they did play that funky music on, like, you can even see it. They did it on like the Joan Rivers show, but someone else was guesting, but it was a Joan Rivers show, I believe, and some other talk show. And and they play their song, and then they for the second song for the talk show. This is 1988.
Yeah,
They play that funky music, the medley, or I don't think they do a medley. I think they just do the song, and that's on that album. Play that funky music, right?
yeah,
Now so what they did was for Halloween, 1992, which was when I met them, because they were in Hawaii vacationing, and we were playing there as the X Idols,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they became my friends because I don't drink, so I gave them my bar tab, so they come every night to drink. Me
Oh,
and the
that's
bass
awesome.
player,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
because they could drink for free. Yeah, and so that's how we became friends. And then when they needed a guitar, they started getting so much disco work. They asked me to do it. But the way they got the work in the first place was they were doing this show in Arizona, and they for Halloween, and they decided to wear disco clothes and afros and John
Yeah.
Travolta wigs and whatnot, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
And
cool. Yeah.
yeah, and the place went nuts. And the club owner goes, because they played there every 2 months in Arizona or every month or something like that. Because that's like one of the only cities that actually played their record. So they were like actually rock stars just in Arizona and like some other place.
Yeah.
So, anyways, because the club owner of the library goes, "That's what we want." And then they went on vacation to Hawaii, and that's when I met them. And they said that
Yeah.
they told me that story, and they said they're learning a bunch of disco songs, and they're going to get paid for it to go and play at the library, and it's going to be Roxanne, and then afterwards going to be their cousins, the Boogie Nights, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
they hadn't
awesome.
even done their first show yet,
Yeah.
and they asked as the ex Idols, when you get back in town, because we were going to come back and we still had another week to play in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You can be on the bill. So we played that bill. It was the X Idols opening, Roxanne, and then the Boogie Nights.
That's a
Is that funny
freaking.
or what?
That's a
In Arizona,
freaking.
at a place that was an actual library, but a club at night.
That's a.
Isn't that weird?
That's a freaking great lineup too, though. Like, that's just so cool to me.
Yeah, because they were
Yeah.
big fans of the X Idols. They actually said the early X Idols with "God Knows I Try" and those songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
"I Love You." Because later on they did more like pop punk and just punk,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But before it wasn't like that. We had like a little flavor of that. Like I think we had the real you and stuff like that. Now I see the real you. I don't care anymore. It was kind of punk, but
Yeah.
surf
Yeah.
punk.
Exactly.
But
I
like
mean,
James Bond punk. You know.
but I mean, like there is like speaking of Hawaii and so on. Like there is a great video on your channel. Like I watch this a lot because
Hmm.
it's very funny. At the same time,
Hmm.
I think you know what I'm talking about here. But there's a video of
Yeah.
Imagine World Peace and you performing, and the look on your face. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When Theodore is singing
Yeah.
on the wrong beat.
Yeah, exactly. And it
Yeah.
asks you to. It's so funny, man, because your
And if
face
you
is just.
notice, I'm not moving in that video at all because I got mad at the very beginning of the set. And so that was our very first set ever with Imaginal Peace in Hawaii. We did
Yeah.
one show at the Marquee, and I think that's it. So it was our second time we even played.
Yeah.
And if we go into Y, and half of us go into Y, while the other half of us go into everything.
Yeah.
And Theodore goes, "What the fuck?" real loud, and it scared the crap out of me because it was so loud
Yeah.
that I got it gave me made me nervous in the stomach,
Yeah.
and that made me very mad. So
Yeah.
like refuse to move. So I'm not performing at all. If you notice, I always run around the stage and perform a lot,
Yeah.
and on
Yeah.
that
You do. You
particular
do.
one,
Yeah.
I'm not even budging. And he has to like make me sing, like because he doesn't even realize what he did, and it occurred to me he doesn't even know. So he's like trying to get me to sing "Shine Your Light on Me" right at that moment,
Yeah.
and then I kind of go up to sing it, but he's off. He's because the song's supposed to be like boom cat boom cat boom cat boom cat,
Yeah.
and he's singing it where it's like cat boom cat boom cat boom cat boom. So it's like
Yeah.
one beat off.
Yeah, and you can tell on your face because you're looking out at the rest of the band members or someone, and you can just look on the look on your face just says it all. It's so funny, man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't that funny? So that's that story behind that.
Yeah, that's just great. I mean, it's just so funny.
Yeah,
It's great that you saved that one.
and I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it is truly. Yeah. And speaking of the last thing about Imagine World Peace, so do you still want? Because I have Leanne and stuff. Because you talked about that. Because you wanted that, right? Or is that something you still want?
Well, I think we have it
You
all
have
right
it
now.
now, right now. Yeah. Because that's what I'm
I'm
about to
not
say.
sure. I gotta call Greg and see what because he said he finished doing it,
Yeah.
and I want to see what's on there.
Yeah,
See, but I
exactly.
don't know if he knows the
Because
names of the songs, but I don't know. Maybe he could play it for me over the phone, like a piece of it, so I can see
y-
identify the songs.
yeah, because I have a few things, and I would gladly send it your way. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. If we need it, I'll definitely. If we're missing anything, because I have a feeling we're not missing anything.
Yeah, it seems like it now because Theodore also found stuff, and yeah, whatever. So
Yeah, because these cassettes were like in mint condition. They weren't
yeah,
like my cassettes where it was like no case, an old tape on over some other recording. No,
yeah,
these were like mint condition tapes.
yeah. I
So I'm
mean, if
like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's
I
great.
think he found it,
Yeah, he found
and
the
then he
mother
said he
load. Yeah,
found the DATs too, because that's what we were recording on um, initially, and
yeah,
then we dump it down to tape. So if you have the DAT, then we pretty much have everything.
yeah, exactly. Because that's the mother load. He found it all. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I think he did find it all. Yeah,
yeah, that's great.
and
That's awesome.
yeah, because I guess he like moved some stuff around and opened some boxes and Oh my God. It was all together. Like, oh my God, I found it all finally.
I mean,
Because we couldn't find
it's
nothing.
yeah, because it's so nice that you all saved most of the stuff. You know what I mean? Because some people I've
Yeah.
talked with, they didn't save anything. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how
Yeah.
could you
Taz is
not
like that.
save? How could you not save anything? Like that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. You just, because it doesn't seem like it, for everyone's putting it down so much that it didn't seem like it had any value. And a lot of people are embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I
how
kept
could
like,
you? Yeah.
I kept a lot of my stuff, but a lot of stuff, it gets lost in a move. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think you have it, and then you don't have it. Or it's like on a blank CD, and I have like 500 of those where it doesn't have a marking. So you're like, it could be on one of these.
But you never know.
And I would
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, yeah. And so, yeah. So, like, yeah, some guy wrote in and says that he has a Magical Piece original lineup playing like their first show at the Exposure 54. I think it's their very first show, too. And
Yeah.
he was the guy who filmed it. And he wrote last night that he has it. And I go, well, we would love to
Yeah. Yeah.
see
You
that
should
if you could
definitely.
upload
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, that would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Theodore had a video of our last performance. And he came over to my house. We watched a little bit of it. And then
Yeah.
when he left, I went to try to find it and it was gone. And then he says, I don't have it. What do you mean you don't have it?
Yeah.
I left it at your house.
Yeah.
It's not here. So I don't know what happened that day. And that was like 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, that's insane.
2008. So
Yeah. Oh,
15 years ago.
that's 15 years ago now. Holy shit. Yep.
16 even.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
But you know, like it seems like 10 years because the time goes by fast.
Yeah, it does.
The older you get, you
Even
know,
even now I feel it now. Like, yeah, it's yeah,
right?
yeah.
From 20 to 30. Once you're out of school, then time goes fast.
Yeah, it's just downhill from there, really. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Well, because you're so busy looking at like the, and when you're in school, you just can't wait to get out. That makes it seem longer. And then once you're
Exactly.
out and you're able to do what you really want to do.
Yeah,
Now you're having fun and you're doing what you really want to do. It goes by fast.
exactly. Truly.
You know,
I
because you
couldn't agree
want to
more.
be a musician, but you're a wannabe. But once you actually are a musician, then you know you're doing it, and next thing you know, 20 years go by. Wow.
I mean, yeah,
You know.
exactly. I mean, it's so true. Yeah.
Or if
But
you're starting your own business, you know, then you're so busy doing that, then next thing you know, 10 years go by, or whatever it is.
yeah,
If
exactly,
you
and
or
everything
whatever job you
is
have, as long as you like your job. I think if you don't like your job, it goes by slow again.
yeah, exactly. And I just turned 30, and it feels to me even that 20 was like just yesterday. It's insane. It's just
Exactly.
time
Yeah,
just
yeah.
clicks and it's gone. Yeah.
But it seems like 10 years old was an eternity ago
Yeah,
because you were in
exactly.
school.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so true. It's insane how it works, but yeah. But like speaking of tasks, by the way, they actually you have those releases too, right? They released.
Yeah, I have both of them.
Yeah, same here because I'm so surprised that they actually found stuff and but I mean most of it was already out there because they basically just re-released some stuff, but they still
Well,
found some stuff.
I only saw like 2 or 3 songs on YouTube or 4 songs or something like that on YouTube. So a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff I never got a chance to hear. Like Caroline, I never heard.
You never
I
heard
saw them
Carol?
play that in the club.
Yeah.
Well, I used to play with them, so I saw all those songs live, and I have a really good memory. So I actually remember people's songs,
Yeah.
and so I remember Caroline like very well.
Yeah, it's a
But
great
I
song.
haven't heard it since like 1990.
Yeah, that's a long
You
time ago
know?
too. Yeah. I mean, Taz has
Yeah,
a
and I
lot of good
remember it.
songs, like "Am I Insane," for example.
Yeah, and
It's
that
a
was
good
on the
one.
internet, so I could hear that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great one, and yeah, "Cold Shoulder" I like. "Caroline" is
Cold
great.
Shoulder was a yeah, yeah. Not Kenny though. He's mad at Taz because he didn't get his writing credits. He says he co-wrote a bunch of those songs and he didn't get credit for it.
Oh,
And
really?
he said he talked to the singer and the guitar player, Ethan and KK,
Yeah.
and he says that they were assholes on the phone and he don't want to talk about Taz at all. I said, okay,
Oh,
let's talk
that's
about
sad.
soul.
Yeah.
And I said, let's talk about soul. I'm trying to. He said he wanted to talk about it when it came out, so I called him when it came out, and he was
Yeah.
so mad. He goes, I don't want to talk about it now. I said, well, let's talk about Soul then, because that's his other band,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were really popular on the Sunset Strip too.
Yeah.
But they were like a serious band, but they're
Yeah.
really good actually.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and he goes, well, I'll talk about Soul all you want.
That's
So
yeah. I mean,
his mood switched right away.
yeah. That's
Isn't that
insane how
funny?
yeah, it's insane how it works sometimes. Cause I mean, I prefer Taz, to be honest with you, but like,
Yeah, yeah. I just like hair metal in general.
yeah, yeah, same here, absolutely. But if I have to choose between the bands, Taz I prefer more, I think. But yeah,
Right.
it's great releases anyway that they found stuff.
Y- Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But isn't that funny? And he has that Kenny's drum solos on that album. That's really cool.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they released actually
I
two full
remember that drum
albums. It's
solo.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah. They
I
actually
remember that
released.
drum solo.
Oh, you do? That's awesome.
Yeah, from live. That was the drum
That's
solo he did live.
that's
He
awesome.
he did it in San Diego because, like I said, I saw them before I moved to LA because the LA bands came down to play this club called Rio's in San Diego. There's a footage of Lip Switch. They just uploaded it of them playing with Funhouse at Rio's
Funhouse is
on the
another
Lip Switch.
great unknown band, by the way. Funhouse is great.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but I remember you told me like you saw Taz when you were like 15, 16, 17, something like that, right?
17, 17.
17, yeah.
Yeah, before I moved to Hollywood or LA, should I say?
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and they were one of the bands that blew me away. I was like, wow, and especially Kenny, the drummer, and especially that drum solo because he looks cool when he plays the drums. The way he played when he had super long blonde hair all the way down his
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
he
yeah,
looked
yeah.
like Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He reminded me of,
Yeah, because he could really play too. Like he was a really good player. Like he is a good
and
player.
he could, yeah, he could really play, and he played an Imaginable Piece, by the way,
Yeah, yeah, I remember that because you joined because you wanted to play with him, right? Wasn't that the
play
story?
with Kenny, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
he wasn't there, and I said, what happened to Kenny? Oh,
I'm
he
out of here.
quit or whatever it was. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so they go, well, do you know of any good drummers? And I said, yeah, Lance from Love X, which was Kenny's band where he wrote all the songs, and
Yeah.
because he sings and plays guitar, Kenny,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can actually see it on YouTube. It's on my channel. I did a review of one of them,
Yeah,
and
exactly. I saw that
recently,
one. Yeah, I saw that one actually.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he actually is a singer, writer, and guitar player. But anyways, so he is Shawnee was like, oh, I don't want to look like we get all our drummers from the same band, Love X. We're like the Love X. They're like our farm. They look like they're our farm team or something. And I go, well,
Yeah.
just check them out. And then he played and he got the gig, of course, because he's so amazing on the drums.
Yeah, I mean he could really play. And like there's
Yeah,
another guy that really can play drums too. That is Theodore. Because he can
yeah,
really play too. Like he sings well, like he's a great singer and everything, but he can really play drums too. Like he can really play.
yeah.
So
That's his specialty is really the drums more than even singing. That's how he views himself
yeah.
as a drummer. Because that's what he moved to LA to be a drummer, and the singer of Kick Tracy was the singer of the band.
Oh yeah, Kick Tracy. That's another band. Yeah, 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 for sure.
That was his band. That was Theodore's band when he was the drummer.
Yeah,
And then everybody kept on saying that he looks like a singer. He should be a singer. And
yeah,
he decided, well, if Brett Michaels could do it, then I could do it because he doesn't sing real good.
yeah.
He
But
sings just it's okay, but it's not
yeah,
like hard like Queensryche or something.
I mean
And he goes,
honestly, Theodore sings better than Brett, in my opinion. But yeah, Theodore can sing.
right, right.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah, so he goes, well, so that he became a singer, and then I saw the story of Steven Chirot talking about meeting Theodore for the first time, and how they asked him to be in the band,
Oh yeah, there's an
and
interview on YouTube about this. I think I saw that one.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, with Rock and Roll Coffee or something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's called.
exactly. And they're talking about like bands like Imagine World Peace and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and why he moved to like, did you move out to LA with a band? And he says the story, and he said that everybody became singers though, and then he was out of a band.
Yeah.
And so then he looked. First thing he did is open up like the Recycler, or I think it was the Recycler,
Yeah.
and that's a newspaper, and that's where you put ads for you musicians wanted. You do that in Rock City News, but you'd also do it in Recycler too. You wouldn't not do that. That's how Motley Crue was formed too, with the Recycler.
Yeah,
By the
exactly.
way, that's
Yeah,
how they
yeah, yeah.
found Mick Mars. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That is a
and
well-known story. Yeah.
yeah, so Steven said, "Oh, and he's supposed to do the show." That was one of the things that Theodore texted me last night. Is Steven says that he'll do the show, but I'm not going to put him on the poster until he calls me because I got to actually hear it. You
Yeah.
know, because if they're not willing to call me, then they're not. I don't trust them to actually show up to the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
want to put him on the poster,
Because you
a
want to make
big name like
sure.
that
Yeah,
on
you
the
want to make
poster, and make that
sure.
promise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure and everything. Absolutely. I
So
mean,
yeah,
that's
just in the
understandable.
just since last night, I got the guys from Legs Up, so to speak, and so I'm told,
Yeah.
and freaking well, definitely the drummer, but I don't know. And he says the guitar player and singer will do it for sure, but we'll see about that because I've heard that before, and then they don't do it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the same thing with Kick Tracy. He's telling me like that he'll do it for sure. But if he calls me, like not text, but calls me, then I'll believe. Then I'll believe you. You know, you have got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
call me
yeah,
because that's like a step. It's too easy to text. But if
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
willing to actually call, then I can actually get a feel of how you actually feel with your
Yeah,
personality.
yeah, and
You know, I can't get a feel with a text at all.
yeah, you can actually feel how he speaks and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, like if he's enthusiastic about it.
yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, Theodore said that, and the guy doing the show, which is me, is a big fan because I'm a big fan of Kick Tracy. Actually, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
and
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah, I love
and
them too.
yeah, and he said that Steven really liked that. So isn't that funny?
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually,
Uh,
to be fair.
Yeah, so that might be a motivator. Is what he was implying. Like that was a
Yeah,
motivator for him to go, oh, really? Yeah, I want to do it. That sort of thing. You know.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
how it came across to me. But I'll see if I can get a hold of Steven and talk to him today on the phone. But see what I mean by being busy? Like it's like a constant moving target. Like I'm trying to get these guys to just post, but then I also get some new people that okay, let me try to fit them on the show because that just makes the show even better. When you get like Legs Up and Kick Tracy, members
Yeah,
of Legs Up and Kick Tracy, it just makes it even better. You know what I'm
yeah, and it's. I mean, Kick Tracy is another great band. I mean, their first album that
saying?
they came out in '91 is actually
Yeah,
really,
see if I
really
can get
good.
them to do like two songs.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
like.
but that's how he got. I was going to say about the recycler. That's how he got into Kick Tracy. Is the first person he called was the guitar player, the Japanese guy of Kick Tracy, and they formed and they ended up forming Kick Tracy right there. So it was
Yeah,
like that. As soon as he lost his band with Theodore, that later that day, the first phone call was Kick Tracy. Isn't that crazy?
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Truly.
because I did a lot of those auditions, and it like the first four of them were like a bust. Like the guys weren't serious or whatever it may be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
All right. So
for sure.
any other questions?
Yeah, well, for those listening, like you also, I don't know if you still do this because I'm not sure, but if I heard correctly, you still do. Like you are in Lip Switch, kind of another
Yeah,
great
yeah.
band from the
So
time.
now they should have been on this show,
They
but his daughter is
should.
doing some sort of sporting event on the East
Yeah,
Coast that the whole
yeah,
family flies out to do. Otherwise, they'd be on this show. But I've rehearsed with them like probably four times, five times, just periodically. Like we first got together and did like I think four of them, and then and then a year later, which was about a year ago, we did another one in Ontario at the Singers of Pilots. He has his own his own hangar, and he set it up with drums and a PA and everything,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we did a jam, and we rehearsed there, and yeah, I talk to them all the time, so they're definitely on the next one because I won't even book it unless I know that they can do it. But I'll
Yeah,
make sure
of
it's on a
course,
day that they can do.
because
I
that's
got to
another
get Lip Switch on the next one.
because that's another band that really means a lot to me too. Because I actually love Lip
Yeah.
Switch, right? And I talk with them from time to time on Facebook and such. And
Now I
well,
know who you don't talk to is the bass player because he don't like to talk about this.
yeah, I know. That's yeah, yeah, yeah. David Love, right?
Yeah, David Love, and he
Yep.
wrote those songs, the early songs,
Yeah,
the back in the day, those the ones that were actually played on the Sunset Strip.
yeah,
He wrote those songs all by himself,
yeah. That's
and he's
insane.
like
Yeah,
embarrassed of those songs because I think it's because it's singing like "Sweet, Sweet Stripper," and he's like, "Oh God,"
yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know that sort of
of course.
lyrics.
But
But
that
I
sounds a
love
strip.
that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. I love it, and
That's
it's
like one of the best bands of them all,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know. So
I have yeah,
when I got a phone call from those guys, I was like so surprised. They were like one of the first bands to contact me because I did some reviews and some like a lesson video of theirs like a long time ago.
yeah. I know. I saw
And
those. Yeah, Sex on the Sun and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, the guitar lesson videos like 2017 or 15 or something like that. It was like a long time ago.
yeah, yeah,
And the guitar player wrote me, but that's just like once that I was doing it in the wrong key, but I'm playing it right, but I'm not doing it in the right key because his tuning was different.
yeah, yeah. I
And
saw that. Yeah,
but
he commented that I believe on the video.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And but anyways, so that so David doesn't want to have anything to do with Lip Switch, and that's where I came. So they called me and told me that,
yeah,
and then they said they said, "Can you play? Do you want to play bass?" And I said, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, of
And
course
we
you
were
said.
practicing
Yeah,
like a week later.
yeah, that's awesome because
And then they lost their steam because they they realized, like, when it came to booking a show,
yeah,
they didn't they didn't think that they could draw enough all by themselves
yeah,
in the Sunset Strip, and they just came to the realization, I don't know if we could draw enough, so maybe we can get on the Blackboard Jungle show. But they always have like the bands already booked, and they don't really push the issue because there's always like two bands that aren't even like from the Sunset Strip on those bills,
yeah,
but they don't want to be like the opening band or something like that or early.
yeah,
But it doesn't matter. The Glamour Punks did it, and it
yeah,
was packed,
yeah,
and they went on
exactly.
early.
I mean, yeah,
I was there at 9. You know, it was like nine
yeah,
o'clock. I was
yeah,
there.
of
The
course.
whole place was packed.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, but I think it was that, and so same with Imaginal Peace. Like theater like wants to do like the co-headlining or something like that. It doesn't matter because once it's just it's just packed. That's so. Then I came up with this idea to have all because of Lip Switch and Imaginal Peace. Not because we were having trouble getting on the Blackboard Jungle show. Now I think we can because I've been talking to the bass player about this show
Yeah,
quite a
yeah,
bit, and
absolutely.
our friendship is we know each other now, so it's not like out of nowhere phone call, like, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
way in advance of the show. So I like to get on the next one, but the next Blackboard Jungle show, like either Lip Switch or Imaginal Peace or both, or I like to have even throw Dirty Tricks on there if they have room. Who
Yeah,
knows?
of course. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I Doesn't hurt to ask.
I
But
mean, I would
anyways,
love to see. I would love to see Lip Switch, and I mean, that's a band that means a lot to me too. And they released a record earlier, this with the Union that I
yeah,
have as well. It's great, because I had
yeah,
where I wanted to talk about them too. It's like so I had actually in my possession the early like an actual demo tape from them from the early
yeah.
'90s, like very early '90s, but it broke, so it's damaged beyond repair. So if any of you guys are listening, if you have a tape you are willing to sell me, hit me up. Because I really want
Oh,
it
there you
back.
go.
Yeah, really want it back because I love Lip Switch, and the tape is broken. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like the tape came apart,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
the
It's
box
actually,
came apart?
yeah. So it fell down, and then someone actually seems weird, but it fell down, and I didn't notice. And then when I went to listen, I stepped on it,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like in a million pieces, and I cried, literally cried almost. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's music, you know. So yeah. So if anyone's listening and you have a spare tape to sell, hit me up. That's all.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah. So,
All right. So,
not.
anything else?
I mean, like I said last time, I could talk for hours, but I'm not gonna talk much longer. That's for sure. But I have one last question. Like another
Okay.
band that I really, 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 really love, and I talk about them all the time, and that is Jones Street. Do you know?
Yes,
Have you
Sean.
played? Yeah. Have you played with those? Did you play with those guys anything back in the day, or do you know any?
Well, I never played with Jones Street. As far as did I play any gigs with them, like where we played on the same bill?
Yeah, or
I
anything.
think
Like, did you see?
I'm pretty sure Dirty Tricks did. But the way I know Sean is I was doing Boogie Nights, the disco, like I was
Yeah,
talking about earlier. And Sean would I remember him we were playing in Ventura Metro Bay Club, and that's like an hour north of Hollywood, maybe a little farther.
yeah.
And he was there, and he was on a drug. What was it called? Ecstasy. He was on ecstasy. He goes, "I'm on ecstasy, man. I feel so happy right now." And
Oh man,
he goes, "Can I sing a song?" I go, "Well, we're about to do our last song. Play that funky music, and come up and sing it." And he came up and sang, "Play that funky music," all high, and he
that's
with along
awesome,
with our
dude.
singer, because our
That's
singer at the time was Adam Shore from Shake City,
yeah. Oh, that's another
and
great
and,
underrated band, by the way.
and Warrant. He was also the original singer of Warrant
Yeah,
and Hot
exactly.
Wheels as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're friends. So he was allowed to come up and sing, and but he was being helped, because he probably doesn't. I don't think he knew the words quite all that well,
I mean, if he
and
was
he's all
high on
high.
ecstasy as well, like yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty fun.
And we
Yeah,
even checked him out for the X Idols, and
yeah.
was debating having him sing for the X Idols. Actually, I went to his apartment, and he was petting his snake.
Wait, so he actually? Oh, that's awesome. Like I love this stuff. Like so, he was actually almost. You wanted him to sing for the Ex Idols.
Well, he was one of the people that we were looking at. Yes,
Wow, that's
we were looking
awesome,
at a
dude.
few people, like three people: Tommy Black, him,
Oh,
and then the guy that we actually got, Gary.
yeah,
And I was hell bent on Gary though, because there's something special about Gary.
yeah,
And not
absolutely,
that there's
yeah,
nothing. These guys are special too in their own way,
yeah, yeah,
but
absolutely.
I
No,
just
no worries.
but there was something about Gary that was like he was my favorite. So I like
Yeah,
we got to get this guy, and we couldn't find him. So we put ads out in the Recycler and Band Magazine,
yeah,
and the guitar player of his band Tragedy Club, because I saw them. They opened up for Imaginable Peace at a No Bozo Jam. They were the first band. We were the headlining band, and
yeah.
so they were on like 9 o'clock. And he was so good and so chaotic that he like the guys he was wrestling with the people that work the stage at the whiskey because he's like breaking the microphone stand and
Yeah,
they're trying to stop him and it caused chaos and everyone
that's
was going
awesome.
nuts.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
dude. Yeah,
And I go, oh, I walked up to him afterwards and he was upstairs at the whiskey and I go to Gary and I walked up and I go, I really loved your band. And he goes, what did you thank you, what did you like about it? And I said, everything. And he go and then I just walked away, so,
yeah.
waved and walked away, and so when we went to play, he was sitting right in front of me watching on the stage, like on the stage with his butt on the stage, legs hanging off, turned around, twisted around, and watched the whole show right there.
That's
And
awesome, dude. Yeah,
yeah, and his band was called Tragedy Club, and a lot of those songs wound up on the X Idols album because that was a pop punk band before pop punk was popular at all.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's really along the lines of glamour punks, though, is in the zeros. That's what he was thinking, anyways.
yeah, yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
where his punk was based off of, like
I
"Oh
mean,
Yeah" and songs like that.
Glamour Punks is really great, by the way, though. Like they are 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, legend. Yeah, they're like a league of their own. So to me,
yeah,
that's the best of them all.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
The best of them all. Yeah, as far as like all the Sunset bands that played like that punky sort of thing, they were the best. But
Uh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I just talked to Mickey because he was the original. He was in the X Idols too, as a rhythm guitar player.
Yeah,
I think I might have told you that before, and the last time
yeah. I
where this
think you.
conversation didn't film. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I was supposed to interview him this Sunday, but then he said he had some personal problems, and so he
That's
can't
sad.
do it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. That's
I was
unfortunate.
supposed
Yeah.
to interview him the Sunday before that, and we get on a video conference call and talk for like 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
then I go, "So you ready to do the interview?" And he's like, "No." I said, and I said, "Wait, I thought you were, I thought you were, but I could tell he's serious." And I go, "Oh, I thought you were kidding." He goes, "No, I'm not kidding." I guess I just wanted to get, talk to you about to get comfortable again because
Yeah.
that sort of thing. We haven't talked in like 30 something years,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Absolutely. I mean, it's understandable. Yeah.
yeah, and
I
then
guess.
but then we ended up talking for like an hour and a half after that,
Yeah.
and it was very comfortable. And he goes, "Well, I feel very comfortable doing an interview with you, so we'll do it next Sunday, same time." But then that was last Sunday, and then he was like, I can't do it. I have some personal issues or whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it'll happen sooner or later
Yeah. That's
because it was
awesome.
it was his idea. I don't usually interview people, so I never interviewed anybody.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I found out about your channel, like that was a long time ago now, but so you did like an interview, quote unquote, interview question for another YouTube channel. Do you remember this channel, Rock and Roll Forever?
You mean Hollywood Dreams?
No, not Hollywood Dreams. You mean you didn't? I think that video exists still today on your channel. Well, you interviewed.
Am I talking about Rev Lover?
No, 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 no. You interviewed the channel, like the actual YouTube channel called Rock and Roll Forever.
Oh,
You
you
know?
mean I just reviewed them? I
No,
didn't
no,
talk to anybody, right?
no. Like you reviewed them, but at the same time you left a question or something, and the channel answered back, and then you reviewed that video too. Don't you know what I'm
Oh
talking about?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I do,
but because that channel was great.
but
Like
it's not. Yeah.
but
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
yeah, he uploaded mostly ballads though. Like
all
95%
ballads.
was ballads. But anyway, I don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened to him because he just vanished, deleted his channel, all the videos and everything. So
yeah. That's what
it's
everyone tells me. That's
yeah,
I went and looked, and it was gone.
yeah, and it's just sad. I don't know what happened. It was a great channel with lots of good ballads and stuff, and it was unknown Sunset Strip stuff. So
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why he decided to delete
Like
it
a
all.
ballad that I do like is the swinging thing ballad. Uh, I forget the title, but it goes oh no 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 no.
Oh,
Oh, I'm just a cowboy on the run. That one.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Oh shit, I should know this.
I'm no good for you, baby. So don't you let me go. So you should let me go. I'm no
Oh
good for
damn,
you,
I should know this.
baby.
This is embarrassing. Um.
Mm. I'm
Anyway, it's a great
no
band though.
good for you. I'm no good for you.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm just a cowboy on the run.
Wait, is that actually swinging thing?
Yeah,
Damn, I should know this. The title.
it's on that album. I got the album, but I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
from the demo because we used to have their demo. My Dirty Tricks band.
yeah.
That's one of the first band demos I ever heard because the bass player and drummer were obsessed with swinging thing, and so
I
they
mean,
go,
it's a
"You
great
got to
band.
hear this band."
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
great.
I even went to the rehearsal before I even played any gigs. Our drummer and bass player were helping them with roadieing for their
Yeah,
gig, and so I went along for their rehearsal, and I sat there and watched them play their whole set,
that's
and they
awesome.
played it like it was a real show.
That's awesome because they're a great band. I like them quite a bit actually. So I should
Yeah,
know the
yeah.
title, which is annoying now, but I can't figure it out.
And
Well, oh
Chris
well.
might actually do the show. He keeps on saying that it's a 50-50 chance. So he might actually do the show.
That's awesome. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope all the people that might show up actually shows up. That would be cool. So I hope so.
Yeah, I got a bunch of people that like everybody on that. If they made it on that poster, they're all guaranteed that is at least I'm comfortable enough to say that they're going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. And the rest of the people you didn't put there because they're not sure. Like they haven't talked to you or whatever, right? Like they haven't spoke to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, well, it was just over last night and this
yeah,
morning. Like
yeah, yeah,
Rachel and Steven Chiro, or
yeah,
however you
yeah.
pronounce it. I know it's pronounced differently, like Sherrod or something like that. I believe it is.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna remind everyone again. So if you are in the states and you are free around October the 18th, right? Between 5 p.m. and
yeah,
8 p.m., you should
five.
definitely
Yeah,
show up.
Friday,
And
Friday.
I will link everything in the description
The
to
Hollywood All Star Jams, in case they skipped around and didn't hear it, with all
yeah,
the band, with a bunch of band members from the Sunset Strip, and like pretty much Dirty Tricks is a whole, almost a whole band. So there's some of it's like that a little bit, but a
yeah,
lot of it's just like one or two guys, that sort of thing, and we're all just helping each other out, fill out the lineup, or they're just doing covers, or you know what I mean? It's just like a fun
exactly.
thing.
It's just a
I'm just trying to get everybody in the same room.
yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a great evening and a great hang and a great concert, I believe. So
Yeah, like I said, a lot of the people they said, "Oh, I don't want to do it because my arm hurts, or I got a bad arm, or something like
yeah,
that, or whatever it may be, or I don't sing anymore, but I'm going for sure. Can you put me on the list?" I get a lot of that,
yeah, exactly.
like the
Yep,
Adam
yep, yep.
from Paradise and
Oh,
uh,
Paradise. Oh, oh,
Pepper
great
and
band. Yeah,
yeah, Pepper and Little D from Queenie Blast Pop.
yeah.
So I was trying to get on the show, and I think I might be able to drag them up on stage after all. Actually, I got to reread the
You should
text.
try. Yeah,
I forgot
definitely.
what he said.
You can always try, right?
Because
So
yeah, yeah. Exactly. So I'll
so
probably try to do that.
so also a reminder to everyone: you should probably be there early if you want to get in because
If you
when
can even
it's
get in, yeah.
yeah, because after a
So
while you're
buy the
gonna be
tickets early.
yeah $10 by the way, so everyone knows. Yep.
It's $10, yeah. And I would try to get the tickets now because it's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 weeks away.
three and
So
a half
if
weeks. Yep.
he's yeah, because I tried to get tickets to the Blackboard Jungle show about 2 weeks before the show, and it was sold out.
Yeah,
And I was like,
exactly.
oh crap. And then
Be-
theater calls me and goes, Tommy put us on the list. I'm
oh,
like,
that's awesome.
oh, it's like the night before. 'Cause I wasn't even going
I
to
mean,
go,
that's
and
awesome
then
though.
because
That's
it was
awesome.
sold out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and that's a general manager. He Tommy. He put us on the list. I'm like, oh, okay. And that's who we actually went with. Actually, at that time, was Tommy Black was the singer at that moment.
Yeah,
But I was like hell bent on Gary.
yeah, exactly. I
So
mean,
and
you got your guy.
We were trying to do metal, and Tommy didn't wasn't even a metal dude at all. And
Yeah,
his songs are like more like artsy, and that's where he shines. And I was like, so I actually played with Melody Black, a couple
yeah,
shows,
yep.
at least one, but I'm not. I think I did two, and Kenny Queens was in that band,
Wow.
from
Yeah,
Wicked Gesture and
yeah,
L.A.
yeah.
Guns. Yeah, yeah,
That's
isn't that
awesome.
funny?
Yeah,
And
that's
Beautiful Creatures.
then another great band. Yeah, actually, I like them quite a bit as well. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I saw them play.
You did?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
Beautiful Creatures play.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
So anyway, so if you can be there early, be there, because after they're full legally, so to speak, because they can't just push people in, you are gonna be left outside. So be there.
yeah. Which would probably be a good hang too, though, because you know what I mean. I like to make it so good that it actually is like the Sunset Strip, where the sidewalks actually full too.
That would be, if that's the case, I mean, that would be the dream. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, exactly. Make the other clubs jealous.
yeah,
The
exactly.
whiskey and the Roxy. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. What's happening over here? Yeah.
Yeah, especially this is cooler than normal, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah,
Like this is
absolutely.
like super Hollywood cool.
Yeah.
Only people from Hollywood really even know how cool it is. Like a lot of people that are probably your age that live in Hollywood now
Yeah.
that weren't there and they don't like rock, they like hip hop or something.
Yeah.
They'll drive by that Viper Room sign and not even know what they're seeing. Like
Exactly.
that this is like this is going to be an epic thing. Kind of funny, huh?
Yeah, that's insane.
Because
Yeah.
thousands of cars drive by that club every minute.
Yeah,
And,
of course. Yeah.
and most of them aren't going to go to the show. Most of them are not. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah, of course
that's how
not.
it
Of course
goes.
not. Yeah, of course not.
Like the
Yeah.
freeway.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just think that's kind of funny. But if you know, then you really know how cool it actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
everyone should be there. Yep. And I will also link the channel to you. I will link your channel in the description as well, if that's okay with you. So
yeah. Go
people
ahead.
can so people can check out your channel as well, because it's cool. And you have a playlist of all the bands and the
And
Sunstrips.
Facebook.
And Facebook I can link as well, and the group, because you have a group for this as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I'm
Oh, and the
there.
group too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
started that.
I will
I just
link.
started my Facebook. I wasn't on Facebook this whole
Yeah,
time.
I know. I remember when you like first appeared, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's finally here!" Yeah,
Yeah, I'm here for this
yeah,
to get in
exactly.
contact with everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I
it
will
works
link
good too.
everything, and you have a great playlist on your channel that I recommend with all the Sunset Strip bands. So
Yeah,
that I recommend
some
as well,
obscure
because you
ones too.
have, yeah, because you have like thousands of videos on there. Like,
Yeah, thousands. And
yeah,
even the ones that I did myself, there's like almost 600 now.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's like,
It's like 571 or something like that. Crazy.
yeah, it's crazy, and yeah, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been super nice talking to you, man. Super nice.
Great talking to you, Robin.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
and I guess I'll see you around.
I'll see you around.
See you around. Take care.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you in a
Yeah.
few.
Talk to you, man.
I'll see
Bye.
you. I'll see you online.
See you online. See you
Bye.
on Facebook. Finally. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Have a good one, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right. Bye.